Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Mom, where are my keys?
Why do I have to take out the garbage?
I'm too sick to go to school.
Quit hogging the bathroom!
If you're having a hard time living with all the noise, it's even harder to live without it. One fake fentanyl pill could cost your child their life. Learn how to talk to your kids at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Forgot something inside or picking up food from the store? Never leave a child in a car. In Arizona, heat stroke can happen in seconds. Temperatures can rise 20 degrees in just 10 minutes, making a vehicle dangerously hot. Heat stroke can happen even in the shade or when it's below 60 degrees outside. Once you park, always remember to stop, look, and lock. Visit heatstroke.az.gov to learn more. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to harmonsolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to harmonsolar.com. That's harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Your home for NFL primetime games. 1580, The Fanatics.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Harris Hicks in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And today is National Strawberry Rhubarb Day.
Oh, no kidding.
Don't care. That's the day. That's it. Can I be honest? I don't know what rhubarb is.
It's a root.
I know it's a perennial.
Yeah.
And I thought that's weird to have a perennial plant. It's like the taint of all plants.
Yeah,
to have a perennial plant.
A root, I believe.
Is it? What is it? You know, I don't. What does it taste like? I mean, if you're like, hey, let's eat some rhubarb just by itself. Is it like a root?
Sort of bitter.
Then
very
why would
bitter.
you put that in a pie?
Well, I mean, if you have enough sugar, anything will taste good. See what I'm saying?
This is true.
add crap tons of sugar to it.
Oh yeah, sugar and all kinds of topping and whipped cream and all that stuff, and that graham cracker pie crust. And man, now you got now you're talking a pie. You see what I'm saying?
National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie.
Ooh.
But if you have to add tons of sugar and other things to make something taste good, maybe just
like strawberry.
Don't add that.
Yeah.
So I'm against rhubarb. So
okay.
I don't even know what it is really.
I think we here on the Daily Blender need to vote on rhubarb. Should we vote it out of existence?
No, I think I can just
we have that type of power.
Declare it out of existence with the
all right.
existing power that I have.
Well, you are the emperor. So
yeah,
I mean,
my decree now is rhubarb is banned from the land.
There it is. Yep.
Nobody should or should have to ever eat rhubarb again.
Yes. Yeah.
You can feed it to an animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well,
the rest of us
should go to cows to make a rhubarb milk.
What's the punishment if someone eats rhubarb on the land?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. If I
Got
catch
it.
somebody eating rhubarb, however, it's my discretion. That's the whole thing about being emperor. It can be whatever I want.
Yeah, yeah.
The board of trustees
Like
is
if I-
taking care of it.
If I catch Randy eating rhubarb, it's a stern warning.
Why
If I
would
catch
you-
Harris eating rhubarb,
Oh my
that's
God.
a few
Yeah.
years in prison probably.
Yeah,
Not
you're
again.
locked up. You're locked up.
It's just whatever I decide.
Yeah.
Class Optimist says strawberry rhubarb is still my favorite dessert. Grandma always made it for my birthday. It's because she hated you. He says it's the stem of the broadleaf plant. Does
See?
not require as much sugar as most actually do put on it.
It's very
you
bitter.
realize your grandmother didn't like you.
Yeah.
If she's feeding you rhubarb pie, then she had some deep-seated resentment that was coming in your direction, my friend.
Is it a stem? I thought it was a root for some reason.
I was always told the stems and seeds we do not need.
Yeah. Yeah.
T-Licious says, happy Monday, Jeffrey and Randy. Do you hear that sound, Harris? That's the Arkansas freight train coming through. Woo, woo!
Yeah, man. Arkansas destroyed Tennessee. And
Yeah,
they
sorry.
were just
Like T-Licious gives a damn about Arkansas, right?
Yeah, they were just a better team, man. Like that's how it was. Tennessee got super cold towards the end of the season. Started out super hot. Arkansas just a better team, man. We got our championship last year.
We had a replay of a game. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers started out like the first game, but it did not end like the first game.
Nope.
It ended with an ass whooping because Indiana, they just waited around and then they started playing. They got to start playing with a purpose from the beginning of the game. Somebody needs to explain to them that the first couple of quarters are not practice.
Yeah, yeah.
And you need to come out scoring and not waiting until the third and fourth quarter. That's the only difference in the two games is, the Pacers didn't have enough offense to overcome a lack of, I guess, defense in those first two quarters. The turnovers weren't really much of an issue. I mean, both teams had about 15 turnovers, but rebounding was in favor of OKC.
Yeah.
And even 3-point shooting wasn't that much different. It was just a little bit more for the Thunder, a little bit more field goal percentage for the Thunder. But in general, it was just back and forth like last time.
Yeah.
Just different outcomes. So Harris, does this mean OKC has figured out how to deal with the Indiana Pacers, or was this just this game?
Well, I think this was just this game, but Oklahoma City just did what they've been doing all year. They've only lost back-to-back games this season, I think 2 times. So I would have been really, really shocked if they lost this game. I mean, Indiana tried everything on defense with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, from sending double teams, and every time off that pick and roll, man, SGA would get off of it, and it would be Miles Turner typically and a guard, and he would just split it every darn time because Miles Turner, he's not quick enough to stay with SGA, and a guy like Andrew Nembhard or Ben Mathurin or whoever that may be isn't lengthy enough to contend to keep contest SGA's shot. So Indiana just did not have an answer for him on defense.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was no answer. There were, the lead was even greater than what the game ended up with at the end, and kept waiting around like, okay, here we are, fourth quarter, right? Because that's not just what they did the last game, but that's what they've kind of done in the entire offseason.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, here it comes. I'm like, oh, it didn't show up. It wasn't here today.
Yep, it wasn't there.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of double teams too. Like Shea would get it in the post and he would be matched up with like Ben Matherin or someone. And Indiana tried sending double teams. What makes Oklahoma City so good is they'll have 3 or 4 guys on the court who can shoot. So you leave Caruso open. Chet Holmgren got open at times. Others too. I mean, Caruso made 4 threes. Aaron Wiggins was 5 for 8. A lot of that was because Indiana would just double team and leave a guy open, and you can't do that against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Let me ask you. I'm going to ask a dumb question.
Go ahead.
35% 3-point shooting bad?
No. That's about the NBA average, funny enough. So Indiana played, remember, game 1, I told people that Indiana played their A game and Oklahoma City played about their C+, B- game. Well, it was only a 1-point game and Indiana had to play that well. They were like, I don't have the exact percentage in front of me, but they were like, high 40s or low 50s from 3 in game 1. I looked at that and I was like, that's not sustainable. That's going to drop. Well, it did. They dropped to 35%, which is right around the league average. So that being said, when Indiana plays their average game and Oklahoma City plays a good game, well, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be a double-digit affair.
You can't come out average.
No.
You can't come out average against OKC. And, of course, they were gunged up, ready to go. A sea of white people were demanding it in their matching colored shirts. And so they really had to come through. And they did. They didn't make any of the same kinds of mistakes. They did, in every way I can think of, outplay the Indiana Pacers. So, all right, going to Indianapolis. That is on next Wednesday. And all right.
Next Wednesday?
Yeah, this coming Wednesday.
So really spaced out, huh? Really spaced out.
So, yeah, it's 3 days. This is the way the finals is these days, Randy. It's every 3 days you get a game. Wow. And the next one's Indianapolis. So, okay, I don't know how much of a factor Indiana's crowd is.
It'll be a factor.
It's going to be a madhouse, don't you think?
They need every advantage that they can get their hands on because they were lucky enough to get that first game in OKC. So they've got to win both. If they win these next 2 games in Indiana, then that is a clear path to this being over pretty soon.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Them winning these next 2 games in Indiana. Also, you got to understand, Indiana at home has probably been worse in the postseason than they have been on the road, which is pretty odd that it's worked out that way, but it has. An underrated quality too about Oklahoma City is we talk about the shooting and we talk about what SGA brings, but they out-rebounded Indiana 43-35 on the board. So Hartenstein has been huge for them. They lacked that last year. They have that gritty rim protector guy now, and that has really helped them a lot in this. So I think Oklahoma City, also one other thing that Indiana has to do is keep SGA from going to the line. Oklahoma City as a team, have it right here, was 29 of 33 from the foul line. Indiana was 19 of 26. That's a 10-point difference right there. They won the game by 16. You put that average, all of a sudden you got a 6-point game that could be down to the last possession.
Was that just by just the way it went, or do you think OKC was smartly fouling the right people?
No. Oklahoma City got to the line way more than Indiana did.
No, I know, but you were saying that Indiana's free throw shooting was not that great. So that's what I'm saying. When OKC would foul Indiana, did they just foul the right people? Kind of like the Hack-a-Shack, remember, of the old, are they just fouling the right people, or is it just the way it turned out? They just didn't shoot well.
Well, it's the way that it turned out. What I'm mostly hinting at is the fact that Oklahoma City got to the line way more than Indiana did, regardless of percentages. And what happened was Indiana just could not stay in front of SGA for the life of him. I mean, he'd split that double team like easy. Like he made it look easy and they couldn't do anything. And when you get him near to the basket and there's no one in front, well, you've got to foul to prevent the easy layup. So Indiana's got to figure out and game plan, how can we stop SGA from splitting all those double teams off the pick and roll, because it killed them and caused them to send SGA to the line so many times.
888-368-1580. Last Optimist says, Grandma, God bless her soul, was the sweetest old lady, but she would take no bleep from anyone. I only learned as an adult she could swear like a sailor if her grandkids weren't around, and nobody ever crossed her.
Wow.
Sounds like a good grandma.
Sounds like it.
Quiet Cannon says, "Good afternoon, Blender. Obviously, OKC is dominating." I wouldn't say that. They did in the game yesterday, and they did for part of the game, but they're tied. So I wouldn't call that dominating if you take a step back. Series over in 5 games, maybe 6. I believe that's what Harris is telling us.
No, I'm not saying over in 5. My original prediction was Oklahoma City in 7. I think it goes 6. Oklahoma City in 6 is going to be 5 would be stretching it. Indiana has got they still got some of that, I guess, that firepower in them. I would be shocked if they just wave the white flag this easily.
Well, it's going to be funny to watch Indiana at home, because at home this year, Pascal Siakam is averaging 22 points a game. And I think in these next 2 games in Indiana, over the next month or so, the next 2 games, because they play a game and then they wait for like 2 or 3 weeks and they play another one. It's going to be fun to see Pascal Siakam and how he responds, and this Indiana team, how they respond to that take you behind the barn butt whooping that they just got in Oklahoma. And I think these guys are going to come out firing. They're going to be very motivated. And like I said, Siakam is a little better at home than he is on the road shooting wise.
Yeah.
I think that's the key right there. What does Siakam do against Oklahoma in Indianapolis?
Yeah.
And Donnie says Halliburton was limping after the game. I didn't see that, but I did see people calling him the Halliban. I don't. Why? I wouldn't want that. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the nice thing to say about Tyrese Halliburton.
No, not at all. Randy, I think that was a great point. And to add on to this, from what we've been talking about, Indiana, when Oklahoma City sends those guards and double teams like crazy, Halliburton hasn't really been himself. Like he hasn't reached 20 points. Game 1, remember, before that buzzer beater, he was pretty inefficient. And it's crazy how much that moment changed things, because he was pretty efficient game 1. Game 2, he wasn't necessarily like his 100% self. So Siakam is going to be the X factor, because Minnesota got destroyed by Oklahoma City because outside of Anthony Edwards, they didn't have anyone else. So that's an interesting point. You say that. Interesting thing you bring up there, Randy, because Pascal Siakam is going to be the X factor in the series.
And Siakam, to me, was the player. I know that the Claw was a part of that Toronto team that won.
Yeah.
But Siakam, for me, was the guy. He was the unsung hero when Toronto won that championship. So I think he's going to play a bigger role, especially at home, especially with Halliburton. Even if he's dinged up a little bit, I think Siakam is going to come to the front here because he knows what this means. He knows where he's at, and he's been here before. He knows how to take care of business.
Yeah.
Well, the business comes back on Wednesday, so we'll see what happens with that. In the meantime, there's a hockey game tonight.
Yep.
You guys don't seem very excited.
I'm excited. This has been
Randy, you don't seem very excited.
I am excited. I think
that
this
is more exciting than the NBA Finals.
I agree.
Well, yes, it is.
Yeah. And it's on TV at 5 p.m.
It is
today. Did you know what happened the last time when they played? The last time they played, it went to double overtime. First time they went, there was a single overtime. Last time they played, double overtime. And Edmonton's got a game. Florida's got a game. This is very exciting, Randy.
Oh, yeah, it is very exciting. And last time, Marchand played a part in Florida's win.
Brad Marchand, the villain nobody wants.
The little ball of hate.
Yeah, I mean, ever since his days at the Bruins, man, he's been that's who he is. It was so on brand for Florida to sign him. So on brand.
Well, they're playing tonight in Florida, but back to the games, man. That was just crazy.
Yeah,
you're right about Marchand with his 2 goals, and then another guy with a sh in his name, Evan Bouchard with his goal. Connor McDavid, no goal. It's not what he does, though, is it?
Yeah, I mean he's a phenomenal passer. We saw it
Lots
with
of
that goal to
assists.
Dre Seidel. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he can score though too.
So here we are. I mean, this goes 7 games. Yeah, right.
Totally.
I mean, nobody knows anything. Nobody knows if it's going to be Florida. Nobody knows it's going to be Edmonton. This is different than the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Everybody still has an inkling of the domination of OKC, but in this,
Yep.
I have no idea.
I
Does
certainly
anybody
hope it
have
goes
an
7
idea?
games. No, and that's the beauty of it. And coming into this Stanley Cup, man, the sports books were a bit conflicted too, because the Bruins were like -120 on DraftKings as the favorite. For I mean, reference, that's like a 52% chance. I think FanDuel had the Oilers at like +100. And
Hey,
it was
Randy,
just,
could you turn that off?
Yeah, I tried to. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right, Randy. And so sometimes the sports books don't even know who to pick, Jeffrey. So this is going to be close.
Well, let's see here for tonight's game. You're right. It's pretty much a pick 'em. It's 1.5 is the spread, but they do have Florida as a favorite, probably only because they're at home.
Yep,
And
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, there's one edge you might want to give the Florida Panthers. I feel like maybe they're the more physical right now.
Oh yeah,
they've got 60 hits on Oilers. They have 39, and the Florida Panthers been more effective in the faceoffs. So to me, it's like it feels like they're more aggressive, they're more physical, but the Oilers are just classically good hockey. So I mean, I don't even know what to do with this. I got nowhere to go to try to tell you who would win anything.
Well, I will tell you that it's going to get even more physical. The Panthers get AJ Greer back in Game 3. He's going to be playing. He last played in the Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals, where the Panthers eliminated the Hurricanes. So he's missed the first 2 games against Edmonton with an undisclosed injury. Seems like he's back to full strength, and he's going to be on the ice tonight. This is a guy that adds a lot of physicality at his position, and he's going to be giving a lot of energy to the Panthers forwards. So I think this is going to be something to watch tonight. How does AJ Greer fit in with the Panthers after coming back from this injury? And is this an X factor for the Panthers tonight to beat the Oilers? We'll have to wait and see.
All I know is that was dangerously close to a Chris Collinsworth. Here's a guy.
Now here's a guy.
Did I say here's a guy?
You didn't say here's a guy. You said there's a guy, and that was dangerously close. You just added one letter to avoid the here's a guy.
Well, I see. Maybe I should have slid into the shot, and done it that way. So yeah, done the Collinsworth. Here's a guy. Now here's a guy who can catch and run. Yeah, that kind of thing.
He doesn't even have that kind of a growl in his voice, though. He doesn't have that cool voice.
Have you seen his son? Have you seen his son? It's like a carbon copy of him. It's like freaky.
It's
voice wise, it's like freaky watching them two like talk to each other. It's like which one's which?
It's more like it's not a carbon copy. It's more like a fax. You know what I mean? It's not. He's not as much his dad. He's like less of his dad. You know what I mean?
He's like a stoner version of Chris Collinsworth. That's how I see it.
Yeah, but it's no nepotism involved at all.
Oh, for sure. No,
yeah, you would have gotten that job without dad. So
totally. Easy
for sure.
Yeah,
totally.
Sir Drives a Lot says penalty for eating rhubarb. You have to listen to Harris and nothing else for a week. Oh, so we ISO Harris only. So the only thing you hear during the show is Harris. You can't hear anything else.
I don't think that's bad.
Thanks, Randy. I appreciate that.
I mean, one of your penalties for eating rhubarb is just eating rhubarb, I would think.
Oh, yeah, it's not good.
But outside of that, I think let me adjust my rule. Yeah. There's penalties for feeding anybody else rhubarb unknowingly.
There it is.
Yeah.
If you come at me with no damn rhubarb.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Navy Brad's being sexist.
Uh-oh.
He says, greetings, everyone. I see the Colts will be led by the owner's daughters now. They're changing the Colts colors from blue to pink. Shut up. That's sexist. These girls have been a part of the organization for the entire time. It was Jim Irsay's, hope that they would continue and run the thing. And they've already figured out who's doing what. The oldest is the CEO. The other two are doing stuff. They're all part owner together, but the owner with the, decision-making is the oldest. So Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mess with those girls. They know football. They know the organization, and if they're smart, they do the smart thing, and that is just let the GM do his thing right now. Let the team do the team thing. Don't try to get cute with anything, and I doubt they would. You know, they're trying to run that as a business and do good with what they make out of it, like their dad did. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry. He's like, oh, they're going to change it to My Pretty Pony. Shut up,
Hmm.
Navy Brad.
Jeffrey,
Shut up.
would you classify or say as have classified him as a hands-off owner or a hands-on owner?
I think he tried to be hands off, but occasionally you could tell somebody got yelled at in a room. You know what I
think?
mean?
Okay.
It's like he would be patient to a point, and then he'd be like, okay, no, he's not as handy as Ishbia.
Okay.
But
for
I'm
sure.
not going to say he never exerted his will, but for the most part, he'd let people do their jobs.
Ishbia is about a 9 or 10, maybe even 10, and Ursay is about a 5, is what you're saying.
In micromanagement, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't even know if I'd say 5 on Nearsay.
Yeah.
Just depends on what's happening, I guess.
Got it.
All right. Well, now he's dead, so he's a 0 on that scale. Like,
Cue the piano music.
you know, just what happened. All right, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
All systems go. Listen to our live stream on your phone at 1580thefanatic.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful VC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa. And outrun a few.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Sometimes it's okay to think you know, but when it comes to the right car seat for your child's age and size, don't just think. No. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We know how you feel. There's nothing better than a fall afternoon, an order of wings and a nice cold brew, and football. This fall, The Fanatic is your source for high school, college, and NFL football action. The high school game of the week on Friday nights, top line NCAA action on Saturdays, and the NFL primetime games. When it comes to football, we have you covered. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. You know, Randy, remember we were talking about
how many Canadians are still playing in the NHL, and we thought like most of them were Canadians.
Yes.
Well, they are, but not as many as we thought. Turns out, until the mid 1970s, there was 90% of NHL players that were Canadian. Right now, it's down to 44%.
No way.
Yep,
That's
44% are Canadians, 27% are Americans, 10% are Swedish, and only 7% are Ruskies. So it's not as many Canadians as we used to think.
Wow. That's
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
I'm fascinated by that. Well, it's just the game has gotten way more global in hockey, I feel, especially in those northern regions like Scandinavia, Russia. I think it's gotten for sure more global. So maybe that's why I'd have to bet.
Well, something you did have to also look at is all right. 44% are Canadians, 27% are Americans, but how good are the Americans? How good are the Swedish? Just because there's 27% doesn't mean it's the best 27%. percent So how would you be able to figure out, which have the best percentage?
Well,
so you may have 44% Canadians, but of that 44%, how many Canadians are really damn good? You see what I'm saying? And in each nationality? Yeah, nationality.
I think the thing you have to look at is these are the best players in the world, bar none. These are the people that are on the Olympic teams. These are the guys that are national heroes. When you're talking about Swedish players, the guys that play on the Swedish team in the Olympics, that's these guys that are in the NHL. They are the best. And same with the Canadians. They play on the Team Canada.
By comparison to everybody else. So just because you have 27% Americans, but they'll say the 44% Canadians are way better players than that 27% that are American. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I think it's interesting. You say I think the European players, bar none, are better players than most of the American players.
Let me give you a comparison. And why I'm asking this, because it's a tough question and it's hard to quantify. But if you look at the NBA, remember I say every team's got a goofy looking white guy?
Yeah.
And they're usually kind of good. They're not great, but they're kind of good. But you're like, wow, look at the white guy go.
Yeah.
There are 17.5% of white guys in the league, which I think is just enough to fill every team with one or two goofy looking white guys.
Yep.
All right.
So 17.5% of the league are white guys. Are those the best players? No.
It's actually higher than I thought.
No. So when I say 17.5% of the league are white dudes, I don't know, plus or minus, the Chucky and other guys, just running around out there, but 27% in hockey are American. You see what I'm saying? Are those players really great or are they not? So I'm just saying.
You mean, are they great compared to the other players?
Yes. Are they as good? Are they as quality as the Canadian? Are they good as the Russians? Are they good as the Swedes? Are the 27% Americans as good? Because in the NBA, the 17.5% white dudes generally not as good.
I think we found out
they're bench players a lot of the time, and occasionally a team got a guy who's pretty good.
I think we found out in the Four Nations face-off how good the Americans actually were, because they took the Canadians to the brink. But then again,
see, that's a good way of quantifying this. You're saying yes, the Americans did well in the nation face-off.
Yeah, so I think it's there. There's some hockey talent. Austin Matthews is an example too. He's from here. Like, there's some talent. The Kachuk brothers.
In hockey, you see an American. He's like, "Hey, dude's good. Don't count him out." But in the NBA, you're like, "Aw, look at the white guy. He's so good." Of course, then again, some of them 17.5% white guys from other countries. So,
yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Plus minus a Luka Doncic or a Jokovic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what I was asking is that 17.5, was that just like American white guys or just like,
I don't know, it just says in the NBA.
Okay.
So it didn't designate who is from where.
Yeah.
It just designated who is,
if you go by
uninteresting in skin color.
If you go by that, then there's been some, like, the best player in the NBA is a white guy.
Who's the best player in the NBA? Okay. Jokic.
Yeah. So, and there's been like, Ginobili.
Well, this year it's
Gasol,
Shai Gilgeous
Dirk.
Alexander, though.
I still disagree with that. I still think it's Jokic.
It's because you're a racist.
I mean, you talk about other players. I'm
You
just
didn't
gonna.
deny it,
I'm just
Randy.
gonna. I am not.
He's like,
I
I'm
am
from
not.
Tennessee, so
I am not.
I'm comfortable with that.
No, Jeffrey.
Speaking of the hockey, I guess Capital star Oshie has retired after 16 NHL seasons.
No kidding. Wow.
So do y'all remember the guy who made those 4 goals in the shootout 2014 Olympics against Russia?
Yeah, it's just quitter.
Oh,
What a quitter.
what do you mean a quitter?
16
seasons?
seasons?
Oh my gosh.
Come
he's
on.
He's a quitter because it's 16
guys-
seasons. Come
you
on.
I've been
guys-
doing this show
you
for
guys-
30 seasons.
You're soft.
He's a
16
quitter.
seasons.
Holy crap. You guys
You're
are
soft
you guys are
serve,
boomers. You guys are boomers.
No, we're not. We're millennial. We're Gen X.
Millennials.
We're Gen X.
I'm not Gen X. I'm a boomer.
All right, he's a boomer. I'm
Randy's
Gen
a
X.
boomer.
We're the ones you should be terrified of.
Yeah. My generation is terrified of you guys.
then why don't you shut your face?
Yeah.
I'm not,
Baker's
though.
Cocky Hen says
I like you guys.
10% from Sweden. Think how many it could be if they didn't just give up most of the time. What are you talking? No, Sweden's not the country that gives up all the time. You're thinking
That's,
Switzerland, and they just don't
Switzerland,
get
yeah.
involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Switzerland's just
Yeah.
really neutral. They're really historically very neutral.
Well, they're neutral to your face, Nazi behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Read some history. Triple H, thank you.
I was
let's
just saying
see.
from
I'm sorry, I meant to say T-licious says, why are we talking about the pencil neck Collinsworth? Well, we were done.
pencil neck.
Yeah, we're
just making
not
fun of
talking
him.
about
We're
that
not talking
anymore.
about him anymore. We've moved
I
on.
don't see. Here's the thing: people just can't stand. I don't mind him. There's times where I get kind of tired of him, but I don't mind him as much as other people. Like I'm on board with not caring about Joe Buck like everybody else is not caring about Nickelback. You know what I mean? Nickelback, Joe Buck. I'm like that's deserved. But I don't know Collinsworth sometimes. I mean, he just. I don't mind his analysis.
I disagree. I really like Buck. Buck's a great announcer.
Of course
Now,
you do.
there was a time, I think like 3 years ago.
You can't disagree with me.
people
I
really
don't
didn't
like him. You can't agree or disagree with me not liking him.
I'm just
All
saying.
you can
oh,
say is
yeah, yeah.
you
You're right.
like him. I don't like him. There's nothing to disagree with when it comes to personal taste.
You're right there. I think
And I've seen how you dress, so the only taste you have is in your mouth.
yeah, I mean yeah. Okay. No,
He's wearing pink, Randy. I
no,
saw
this
that.
isn't pink. This is red.
This
is
is
red.
got Sun Devil on it.
This
though.
is red. Yeah, that's
Jeffco.
yeah, that's
But it's still
represented my
pink.
school, man. It's red.
Kind of, well, it's pink on camera.
It's like it might be just the glare. It's
Mm.
pretty. It's a red for sure.
You do you, Harris.
Is it a
It's an
maroon?
insult. That was a
Is it a
diss.
light maroon?
It's like a light. It's a light red.
Yeah, it's not even the right red. It's not the ASU maroon.
Oh man, so sorry. It wasn't the right red. Gosh,
I don't
should
think
have
you're
thought.
actually sorry.
I should have
But
thought.
he's got Sparky on there.
I do
So,
have Sparky. That's got to make up for it. Come on.
Come
Look
on,
at him.
that-
He looks
Gotta
really
give
happy.
him some bonus points.
Yeah,
there,
he's
Jeffco.
smiling. Come on. He looks really happy.
What were we talking about?
Oh,
Oh,
my
Harris likes Joe Buck.
Joe Buck.
Oh, Joe
yeah.
Buck. No one's better.
Thank you, Baker's Cocky Hits.
No one's
he says,
better at
yeah,
letting your
explains
crowd settle
everything that Harris likes Joe Buck.
No one's better
I
at
don't think
letting a
everything.
crowd settle in than Joe Buck. However, that 2007 helmet catch, when he called that wasn't the greatest call in the world. So he's had his moments, but I'm a big Joe Buck guy. I think he's great at kind of staying out of the way and letting the crowd set in when a big moment happens.
You're talking about baseball.
baseball
Yes.
and football,
You're
but
talking about
baseball
baseball.
primarily.
Baseball, Joe Buck makes kind of sense, and
Yeah.
he got that from his dad.
Yeah.
But
Right.
football, Joe Buck, yeah.
I don't
think-
like him on the football call.
No.
I love that Cardinals call, David Freese. That might be the greatest call in like the history of sports. We will see you tomorrow night. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
yeah. That's
awesome.
baseball. That
Yeah.
was baseball. Though.
Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And we will see you tomorrow night.
awesome.
At least he's not Steve Levy.
Oh my God!
Can we all
The-
agree that Steve
the
Levy stinks?
smarmiest, worst guy in the entire universe
And
is
what's
Steve
worse,
Levy.
he has kind of a similar voice to Mike Breen, and sometimes I'll hear Breen. I'm like, I'm like, oh wait, no, that's not him. You know, I get him and Steve Levy mixed up just by the way their voice sounds.
Yeah.
But then when Steve Levy's on, he starts to put on what is it, a New York sort of accent, a Jersey
Yeah,
accent,
yeah.
something to kind of a little
Kind
tinge
of.
on the outside. That's how you know it's him.
He
and
does
not
have
Breen.
sort of a Bronx accent, doesn't he?
He was meant to be like a studio guy, and I don't think ESPN, like it was when their Monday night football coverage, was really going through it, and then their hockey coverage now, so they didn't have enough. So they're like, "Oh, I think like you take."
I think they just
That's what I
don't know
think
where
happened.
they don't know where to put him.
How about to pasture?
Yeah.
Put him somewhere else. Let him be like the, most liked sportscaster in Fargo, North Dakota. That's really where he should go.
I think the female sportscasters don't like him in the building there in
Well,
Connecticut.
why is that?
So they have him on the road all the time, or at some remote place because he's so smarmy. I could just see him like, "Hey there, how are you?"
Sir drives a
you.
lot. That is an excellent way of explaining it. Sir drives a lot is a wordsmith today.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Okay. All right.
This is Joe Buck baseball, cherry pie. Joe Buck football, rhubarb pie.
Ah, very good. Yeah.
Nicely done, Sir drives a
Yeah,
lot.
nice lot. Yeah, very good.
No, but see, Harris, you can tell, does not agree with any of that because he's patterned himself after Joe Buck. Well, I don't remember seeing him put on a pencil thin mustache, Harris. I don't remember. And you have you started your hair implants
Harris is,
yet?
it's not
Because
pencil thin.
As Joe Buck has self-admitted that he's addicted to hair implants.
He's come up here with the.
Did you
with the
shorten
side.
your hooks a little bit there?
Yeah, look at that.
They got to be shorter though. Remember, if you want to curl it up, you got to go like along the line here and get rid of. You still have a little hook there. If you want to do the Raleigh fingers,
I think the lady might have.
Did she do that or did you do that?
I did that.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Did
Triple
she
H.
Thank you,
approve?
Randy. Yes.
Did
she
you get that in writing?
No, I
Probably.
should have. I should have gotten it in
I
writing.
feel like she has forms. Like she's going to have forms for you to
like
fill out.
waivers.
Yeah.
Like a waiver. Yeah.
I, Harris,
Yeah.
agree. Baker's Cocky Hen says you can smell Levy's cologne through
Oh,
the
yeah.
television. Oh, you're so right,
Yeah.
man. It's
Yeah,
got to beat
he's-
your car all
yeah.
the way. Silver Pop says Jeffrey Harris is not pink. That's salmon.
Salmon.
No, I don't think it's
I
salmon.
don't think it's salmon. No.
Last Optimist says Joe Buck football mud pie.
Yeah. What's wrong with mud pie?
Well,
I
you
like
can't
mud
eat
pie.
a mud pie.
Yeah, you can. They have a
You
mud
can.
pie dessert, and it's chocolate.
But that's
and
not really mud.
They call it mud pie.
Did you eat dirt when you were a kid, Randy?
Oh yeah, all the time. You kidding me?
Right.
Am I the only one who didn't eat dirt?
I ate dirt even when I played ball. I ate dirt. I was a catcher. Are you kidding me?
Well,
I
that's
was
not
getting-
on purpose.
Getting dirt all the
Yeah.
time.
Okay. I've eaten that kind of dirt on a football field or on a baseball field, but I've not eaten dirt like, this looks good. Yum 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 yum.
I knew somebody whose mom used to reach down and grab a handful of dirt and eat it. Just
That's a-
every so often, just reach down and grab some dirt and just throw it in her mouth and eat it, and just be happy. Then after that, she was like, "I needed that."
That mom would be like, I'd be intimidated.
Wonder if that was
If
a
she
sleight
said,
of
"Go to
hand
your
magic
room."
trick. You know
No,
what I mean?
it was
Yeah.
for real. It was for real.
If she
Yeah,
said,
no.
"Go to your room" and threatened to like spank me with eating a thing of dirt, I would be like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Go to
ma'am.
your room, or I'm
Yep.
going to give you
Yep.
a kiss right on your face." See what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, really. Talk about command of authority there.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
should have this person on the show. Can you get this person on the show?
I can't. She's no longer with us. She's dead.
She's probably from eating dirt.
Might be.
I don't think that's why she died, but
I'm sure it didn't help.
Mm.
You know, that stuff probably just sits in your intestinal tract, right?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Creates a roadblock.
no.
And who knows what happens? I mean, the reason why I
You have
ended
a
up
goby in your pooper.
yeah. Oh,
Hey, listen, it worked for her.
She's dead.
Well, she is dead. Yeah, but so is my mom.
My
And
mom's
dad.
still alive.
My mom and dad are both dead.
Harris's mom is still alive, but she doesn't
Yeah, oh,
return his calls.
Well,
Not true.
That's true. Yeah.
Not true. She returns my calls.
Why does she return your call?
My mom.
Yeah.
Because she loves me.
Mm.
Sir Drives a Lot says, I saw somebody eat dirt and they loved it. I was mortified.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's just gross.
But not
Some people
surprising.
just get all the irons and minerals from the dirt, and they, their body just craves it.
Hmm.
Now,
You
there
know,
are
I've-
people out there that crave sniffing gasoline.
You know, there was a Ed Ogeron who coached at LSU used to
Sniff gasoline.
drink
I knew
paint.
it.
That's
Used to
why his
drink
voice
paint.
is that way.
He used to drink paint. No kidding.
You drank paint as a child or as a
Yep.
grown-up?
Yep. Drank paint.
Go Tigers.
He's
Drank
dead now,
paint
right?
As a child. No, he's still alive. His voice is like that
Because he drank
probably
paint?
because he drank paint. But as a child, he thought it was milk one time and drank it and liked it.
Wow.
Yep.
Hmm.
He is. Think about South Louisiana. That's him. That's him. He represents it well.
Water boy incarnate.
Yep. Well said. That's him.
I really want to talk about other things now, I think. When we come back, we will do that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Get our free app and listen to the Daily Blender everywhere you go. Get it today, wherever you get your favorite apps.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
1580, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, and I saw this, Randy, and I thought, I got excited, and I don't know why.
Okay.
But I guess Fry's Food Stores, Kroger, is now selling Wendy's bacon.
Huh.
It's bacon with the Wendy girl on there.
Yeah.
Double
So
smoked bacon, I guess.
What is
And
it? What makes it different than other double smoked bacon?
Well, that's when I stopped being excited. At first, I was like, ooh, and I'm like, why am I excited? I don't know if I like Wendy's bacon, and if they put it on the Baconator, okay, fine. But
That's
a lot of
pretty good.
times the bacon you get on burgers and stuff are just not, sometimes it's not that great. So I don't even know if this is good bacon.
You're gonna have to pick up a package and
Well-
give it the Jeffrey O'Brien try.
And that's what I said. I told my wife, I said, hey, look, they got bacon from Wendy's. And she's like, no. I'm like, what? They might have low sodium. And she's like, no, I don't care. And I'm like, but I just want to try it. And she's like, well, next time you're in a store, you can pick some up. I'm like, what the hell? She's like, I want nothing to do with this. We have found a low sodium bacon that she likes. And then
Oh,
she's
boy.
like, that's it. That's it. Used to be the Costco low sodium bacon, but I think they
Yeah.
stopped making it. And so
Yeah.
now Fry's, there's I think it's the Kroger brand. It's really actually is pretty good.
Is
But,
it really? Okay.
I just want to know, does anybody out there love the Wendy's bacon, like on the Baconator and stuff? Is it like a really great bacon, or is it just
Just a waste of my time.
I've had the Baconator. The Baconator is pretty good, but like the bacon, I think, is pretty middle of the pack, if I'm being completely honest. Sometimes they've burned it. So
When are you not completely honest?
I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
on the
we need to
bacon.
know.
Wait, we need to know when you're not completely honest. You say that a lot. If I'm completely honest, that is a
when are you
crutch
not?
saying from
Yeah.
Harris Hicks.
Yeah.
So I want to know, when are you not completely honest?
It really
We need
is
to know
crutch
this,
saying. I've been
Triple
trying.
H.
I've been trying to work on it, guys. I have.
No. I'm serious though. When are you not completely honest?
Yeah, we need to know this.
So we know what to expect.
When I'm not completely honest.
Yes. And when is that generally? What is that usually about?
Right.
I don't think it's
You phony.
I think sometimes it's when I'm hiding emotions about the Titans or Vols. Sometimes I can get not completely honest.
And so if you're not being completely honest about, say, the Titans, what are you saying? Oh, it's gonna be a great year. And inside you're just dying.
Yes.
What are
No, I
the
get
what are
that.
the what are the indicators? We want to know. What are the indicators so we know when you're lying?
Is there a
The
tear
indicators.
that comes down, or
Yeah, typically a tear, which, and then it turns into multiple tears. And then sometimes, inconsistent eye contact, when I'm talking about the Titans. You'll ask me, sometimes I'll look up, just the ceiling and
I
start
would
talking
prefer
because
you
I can't
don't
look
ever
at you with
make
the,
eye contact.
I can't
Yeah.
look at you with the straight face and say we're gonna have a great year. I
Don't-
got to look at the ceiling and say it because I can't
Don't
believe
make
it.
eye contact.
Yeah, Harris, I'd prefer you didn't.
Too late, Jeffrey. I'm sorry. I'm making eye contact.
Well, it doesn't count if I'm not. So
I'm making eye contact with Randy's shirt. What does that say?
we all expect honesty around here.
Yeah.
That's why his shirt
We're
says
all
what it
about-
says.
Yeah.
My
It
defense, I
says
was
it
left-
says in my defense, I was left unsupervised.
You can't leave Randy unsupervised.
Can't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm learning that, and I'm trying to learn and get a rhythm here, and that is
Yeah.
something I have. That was Jeffrey's first command to me when I took the job.
Yeah.
So
What was my command? Don't make eye contact.
can't
right?
leave Randy unsupervised.
Oh,
Well,
okay, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I thought it
After,
was
don't
about-
make eye contact.
Yeah.
I thought it was about not making eye contact.
No, that came on a little bit later, and now I'm
Uh-huh.
trying to, I'm trying to learn.
Last
Who knows?
Optimus says probably that the Orgeron liked the paint because of the sweetness of the lead. Salmon is great because of its mercury content.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mercury, sweetest of the transition metals.
Mm. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Last Optimus.
Thank you, us optimist.
Can I kick it?
Yes,
Yes,
you can.
Says, did Triple H just refer to getting spanked by someone's mom?
What?
My mom.
I think, yeah, his mom can spank him.
My mom
no.
spanks
no.
me.
Still does.
Yeah. Okay. Harris.
No, she doesn't. See, I'm making bad eye contact.
Good. There
Oh,
you
no.
go.
Yeah.
I would-
No, she
Yeah, he
doesn't.
looked away. He's lying. He's not being honest.
No, she doesn't.
You,
No.
you don't want to say that on the radio. Remember,
gotta-
moist one.
I got a feeling
No.
your mom will grab you by the ankles, turn you upside down, and spank you right in front of your girlfriend. Like if you guys were to elope or something someday, she'd just grab you and just be like, "You're next, little girly."
If I did that right now, she
Yeah.
would.
See what I'm saying?
She would most definitely do that. Yeah.
Wow.
Quiet Cannon says,
So-
suggestion on Harris's mustache. Maybe Harris's girlfriend would loan him a couple of hair curlers and get that mustache twirl he's after. Well, he's got to, he's now what he's got to do, he's got to grow the length in just the right place. And he's
Yeah.
still learning that. It needs
Yeah.
to be a little higher up. It's got to be up here,
Yeah.
not down here, because this will take forever to try to curl up. If you curl
Patience.
from here, you'll happen
Right,
sooner.
Randy.
Patience, everyone. Patience.
I'm still learning. I'm still a rookie in this. So I'll have my flaws, but it's about how you respond. So once it keeps growing, patience, as Randy has said. He's right.
Mhm.
When I was Harris's age, I was on a music station, so I had the benefit of more females listening, and I would ask them advice, because I was single at the time, and I was like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And then they would vote. I would make them vote, and Randy did not agree. When I was on the afternoons and Randy was running a business, he stopped by to say hi one day, and I had some. Remember, this was not my idea, but they had some little frosted tips in my hair, and
Oh,
I had
did you?
I had a diamond earring. It was the '90s,
Oh, geez.
and I had a little diamond stud earring in my ear, and because the girls loved it. And I gotta be honest, because they told me when they voted on the phone, because that's how we used to do things. I had a call in like, should I do this? Should I do this? And they're like, yes. It was all girls. We're like, oh yeah. And I got tons of dates from it. But Randy came by and roasted me like I've not been roasted before.
Oh, so wait,
cannot repeat the things he said at this time.
So going back to you're telling me that not a lot of females listen to the show? Is that what you said?
I think less females listen to this version of the show than listen to a music station back in the day. So I had more of a benefit of getting advice. You just have a bunch of dudes. So if you're, you probably also need to, you need a sample size more than just the one girl telling you to grow that mustache. So
I don't know though, because that's the one girl I need right now, Jeffrey.
And that's fine. No, I get you.
Yeah.
That's what I always say about my wife. She's like, she says something. I'm like, I only need you to fall for this. You're the only one I need to trick into to thinking I'm special.
Yeah.
But if you find yourself single, maybe check with a larger sample size about the mustache.
Not this one. Wrong type of crowd to check. Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
Let's see. Baker's Cocky Hen says they have the fresh, never frozen patties there too, Jeffrey. What are you talking
Wendy's, about? At Wendy's.
Or are they at Fry's for sale?
No, the Wendy's has the fresh, never frozen. Oh, you mean?
I think
you mean for sale, so you can buy them?
Yeah, you play the home game.
Oh my God!
Taco Bell did that. Started selling their shells and their
sauces
and stuff, and people are like, "Hey, if I want diarrhea, I'm going through the drive-through. I don't want to do that at home."
Yeah.
Sir Drives a Lot says Randy was saving your man card, Jeffrey. He should be thanked. Dude, I got a lot of dates. So what I was doing was working, and I actually kept that that little earring in until I think it was the year 2001 when I was moving on to do Serious Talk Radio. I was going to be a conservative talk show host, and I got on there and I cracked a couple of jokes while doing it, and the listeners are like, could you just be funny and not talk about politics? I'm like, all right, screw it.
You were going to be a conservative talk show host?
Yeah. Yeah.
I learned
2001.
I learned something new about you every day, man.
I was a conservative and I was a Republican in the early days. And that changed when the Republican Party lost their minds. So now I'm just a middle of the road guy. And I guess I'm more libertarian. I'm fiscally conservative, socially liberal, and everything down the middle. And there's always more to a conversation than just a letter. It's more than just an R or a D. You got to think about people. You got to be reasonable. That's all. But yeah, at that time, so I was like, well, I better lose this thing out of my ear. I wore a tie, even though no one could see me. We didn't have a video camera at the time. So I sat there. I was like, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and people were like, yeah, just knock it off. Just be you, like we heard you on music radio. Be you, like you just when you're being silly. Just stick to that. I'm like, all right.
Wow.
Okay. I tried. I wanted to talk about fun, smart stuff. I was so good at it, though. I was going to be good at it. I talked a lesbian into believing she was a Republican.
Wow.
No way.
Did. Because it wasn't a lie. I said, do you care about money? Do you care about family? Do you care about taxes? Do you care about this? Yeah. Well, guess what? Even though you're lesbian, so do maybe you're Republican. You got to think about what's important in life. Your sexuality is not. It's what's important to you and what you want to see happen in life. This was back at a simpler time when it didn't get weird. At that time, it was a little more straightforward.
Yeah.
And it was cool. So
and then my generation came around.
Ruined everything. Sir Drives a Lot says, I'm not disagreeing with your tactic, Jeffrey, but sometimes your friends come in and make sure you keep your man card. No, he did hurt my feelings pretty good.
What did he say? What did he say?
I can't repeat it.
Oh,
but I was like, yeah, he's right about the hair. He was right about the hair. I mean, that was just,
it started with what the, and then I went from there.
Yeah, but the women loved it. But this lady who was cutting my hair, I think what happened was she was like, hey, you should try this. And I'm like, okay, I didn't care. And it turned out, I think she was just trying to make rent because she wanted to charge me more, So she's like, I think you'd look handsome if you tried this. Ka-ching, 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 and all the stuff she was doing to me. I was like, okay, no more experimentation. My friend just laughed at me. I don't need. I just want to look like normal me, please.
Oh my!
Wow, that's
Anyway.
crazy.
I'm sorry again.
Random texter says, "You guys think girls do that on purpose? You know, intentionally make you look like a goober or a fashion bozo so you're not attractive to any other women?" Yes. Actually, I said that to Harris last week. I'm like, she might be just doing this about the mustache so no other woman will touch you.
He has said that
I'd be suspicious.
numerous times.
Last Optimist says, I'd have a short beard, but my wife wants me to have the Duck Dynasty type of beard. Long it is. Yeah, because it's softer, so she can kiss you. That's a good thing when they want to kiss you.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. Well, this show's starting out weird, isn't it?
It's a Monday.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, I've been avoiding it. Let's talk about the Diamondbacks. It's the
No,
Daily
no.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. Sponsored by Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our naturopathic doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Harris Hicks in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. If you broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, they're still trying to figure it out. Buck baseball equals Harris. Buck football equals Phil, is what T-Licious said.
Wow.
I feel like that was I think that was That was a dig on Phil right there.
That was a dig on Phil. That's a
Leo
compliment.
Harris is like, oh, somebody else. It's not me.
No, I am for real relieved. I was like, here it comes. I was like, oh, wait, it's a compliment. Thank you.
Poor guy who's been taking so much abuse that seeing someone else get beat up for a second makes him just thrills him.
Yeah. I love Phil,
Sir
but-
Drives a Lot
yeah.
says, oh man, you're taking me back. Had a friend you has since passed multiple times. I'd say WTF. And his answer always was, what the ladies love it. And he says, I miss that guy. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Fry's has them for purchase. Those fresh, never frozen Wendy's
Wow.
patties. You
Isn't
can
that
make them
something?
yourself for more money, a little more likely. Yeah, it's probably more expensive to buy all that stuff and do it at home than it is to just drive through and get it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Besides, I mean, I like Wendy's, but I don't like them that much. Oh,
see, when I go to the Wendy's, what?
What we
Your
had for
eyes
dinner?
got really big.
Oh,
What?
we had dinner. Oh,
What'd you have?
We've never done this before.
Okay.
We had tostadas.
Ooh,
Homemade.
there you go. There you go.
Homemade.
All right. All right. You were just saying you missed the tostadas.
Yeah. And here's what she did. She just got the I think it was who makes the taco shells? Starts with an O. Anyway, they came the tostada shells came like pre-crisped. So all you had to do is put the stuff on it and heat it up. So we put the refried beans on it and sprinkled some taco meat and Ortega. Thank you, Waldo. And we put put it in the microwave and kind of heat them up. Bam. And they were so damn good. My wife always just flavors the meat exceptionally. And I ate 4. That's how good they were.
Nice.
They're not huge tostadas. They're like, taco size
Small ones. Yeah.
tostadas.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Man, Ortega. Yes, Sir Drives a Lot, Bruno Baller. You are correct. But these are Ortega tostada shells. I wouldn't mind if they were a little bit bigger though, but they were good. They held up nicely because you know how sometimes you microwave some taco shells, and they get soft, and these didn't do that.
Yeah,
I don't know what chemicals they use to keep them crisp. I don't want to know. Don't care. It was tasty.
Sometimes
all you know is you had a good time.
Yep.
Moist one. I can't read that.
It's about Harris's mom, isn't it?
It's about his mustache.
Huh?
And what he calls it, I don't think I can say it.
You don't think you can say it, or you can't say
about
it?
what that mustache might catch.
You're
That's all
thinking
I
about it.
can't say anymore. Can't say anymore.
Oh,
yeah. You don't want to know. Yeah. Let's talk about something more unpleasant. Let's talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks getting swept. By the Reds.
Yep.
It's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. And it shows you also, I mean, our bats went kind of quiet. I mean, we only put up 3 runs in the first game, 1 run in the next game, 2 runs after that. In the meantime, they put up all the runs. They had 13-1 in that second game.
Yeah, they did.
We are supposed to be on similar ground as the Reds. It should have been more competitive than that. What the hell happened, Randy?
Well, more pitching. Ryan Nelson pitched that game, and he only lasted 3 innings. Plus, the Reds had 2 grand slams in the game, and that's not going to help you. You can't serve up a couple of hit me balls and have them drive it completely out of the Great America Ballpark there into Steamboat Alley. Into the river and have guys come across. I mean, that was 8 of the runs right there. So Ryan Nelson didn't last that long. 3 innings. He gave up 7 earned runs, and then Kendall Graveman came in. Bam! He gave up 6 and 5 hits in only an inning of work. They went to the bullpen. Kristen Montez de Oca came in, and he pitched okay for 2 2/3 innings. They brought in Jeff Bingham. He held them down, and then they brought in Jose Herrera to do the cleanup work and not waste any more bullpen guys. You may know Jose Herrera is the backup catcher for the Diamondbacks. And yeah, you're right. Their bats didn't work well at all. And it was just it was a good old-fashioned shellacking there in Cincinnati. So I don't know what to expect. We take on the Mariners starting tonight.
Merrill Kelly on the mound.
Merrill Kelly has been good as of late. Like I said, he's been a bright spot in the last 5 games. I think he's 1.5 ERA, 1.5, 1.6 ERA, somewhere around there. So it's a good chance for us. Can we get the bats going? So some home cooking. That was a long road trip too. Speaking of the Diamondbacks, that was a long road trip for them to be out there. They went to Atlanta after facing the Nationals here in Phoenix. They went to Atlanta and they played 3 in Atlanta, played 3 back-to-back in Cincinnati, and they had some weather too. So they were brutal games. We'll have to see what happens. We need to put it on the Mariners in the next 3 games because we've got the Padres coming in after that, and they are slugging the ball around the ballpark. So we better do something.
Yeah, I think the Sunday one, even though it's not the one that they got blown out the most, the Sunday one is the one I'm most concerned about because the bullpen didn't implode. The bats were off, and Zach Gallen gave up 4 runs in 6 innings. So
6 2/3, yeah.
Yeah. So the bullpen played super well and yet couldn't get it done.
Well, the Diamondbacks right now are like a drunk guy in a car going down a curvy mountain road and the steering wheel's broken. Because it doesn't make sense. We sweep the Braves, we get swept by the Reds. We got beat by the Nationals, but we beat these other guys. You see what I'm saying? We're just all over the place. There's no consistency in what's good or bad. How are you supposed to gauge and or fix this?
Well, it's a matter of again, the pitching has let us down as of late. But you're right. I mean, on yesterday's game, Zach Gallen pitched a good game. By all accounts, Zach Gallen went out there, went 6 2/3, gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs. He only walked 3 guys, and he had 5 Ks. And the bullpen came out and held them down. You're exactly right, Triple H. Our bats were silent. Guys like Josh Naylor, guys that like Eugenio Suarez, guys like Lourdes Gurriel that have been adding some power to this team. They weren't there. Pavin Smith was in the game. He was the DH. He only got 1 hit. Was only up twice. Randall Grichuk, he came in. He didn't get a hit. Alex Thomas. This team, the bottom half of their lineup really needs to start getting some hits and scoring some runs. You can't leave it all up to Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, and Perdomo. I mean, you got to the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys have really got to start producing.
Yeah. So when the Diamondbacks gave Zach Gallen that long contract extension, you guys I know aren't going to like this, but a lot of the analytics nerds were like, I don't know if this is sustainable because you look at his expected ERA, which is on Baseball Savant, which is based on like mileage of pitch based in location and all of that. It's not 100%, but it can be telling. His expected ERA in 2023 was a 4.2, ended up having a 3.2. 2024, his expected ERA was a 4, and he ended up having a 3.3. So what this is saying is the analytics don't think this is sustainable. And the analytics so far this year have proven to be right with Zach Gallen, which makes me a bit concerned. Makes me concerned. Yeah. I hate saying it. I hate being the Debbie Downer, but it's just, I look at it and analytics aren't gospel, but they can be really revealing sometimes. And this is just, I question the move a little bit, and the doubters have proven to be right with this.
Jersey Murph says they seem to do more load management than any other team in Major League Baseball, and yet everybody still seems hurt.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't like the way they handle this team. I don't like it. I don't like having guys on the bench that could be in the game playing. I don't see a reason for it. It's only June. These guys are able to play ball. They're big boys. You don't have to treat them like little leaguers. And you let them go out there and play, man. Let them go out and play the game. I don't like the load management, the way Torrey and Mike Hazen go about it. I know they're trying to keep these guys fresh. But if you keep these guys fresh for the end of the season and you don't get to the end of the season because you miss it by 1 game, because you're losing games because of load management, you're not playing the right lineup, and your pitchers aren't helping you, and what's it going to help you? I mean, how is this going to work?
Baker's Cocky Hens. I thought of this name myself. We talked about it a little bit last week, but Trevor Bauer, 2 complete games this season already. Why didn't we go after him?
Well, we can anytime. Jeffrey has said it many times on the show. I don't know that Major League Baseball wants him back. I think I think he's on a list that says you can't sign this guy.
Yeah, it might be political with him, but he's definitely good enough. He's definitely good enough.
And here's the thing, though. If I am owning a team and Manfred has put the blacklist on him, and I'm a team that's struggling and needs a pitcher, how mad am I at Manfred if he's actually put him on the blacklist?
Mad.
You know, I mean, why would the owners put up with it?
Mad.
Why would the owners put up with it with a guy who's supposed to work for them?
Because here's why. Manfred isn't putting Trevor Bauer on that list because of anything that he did wrong. He spoke up against him in some of his methods, and he disagreed with it.
So why are the owners putting up with it?
What do you mean? Why aren't the owners putting up with it?
Why are the owners letting Rob Manfred keep a guy on a shelf that could help a franchise?
Goodness, that question, I have no idea. There are a lot of people in the league who don't like Trevor Bauer too much. I know that there are people in the league. So you have to think again, it's something political. I wish I knew, and maybe there's a good reporter.
Manfred doesn't have the power over the owners. The owners have the power over Manfred.
He serves the owners. That's his job as a commissioner.
Just like old Puffy Goodell,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
So yeah, I'm a little baffled by this. Unless they know that Trevor Bauer really is guilty, and they don't want to risk another occurrence.
Trevor Bauer has not pitched in the major leagues since this all went down. How long's it been? 5 years? 5 years now?
Something like that. 4 years. Yeah.
It's been a bit.
And you can say, well, he's down in A ball, playing against the Pixatawny Phils, and he's throwing lights out. He's striking everybody out. Hell, they're bringing people out of the stands and they can't hit. Who cares? When's the last time he pitched in Major League Baseball? And it's been 5 years, and it's a lot different when you get up to Major League Baseball. Major league hitters are different than minor league or Japanese league or the Puerto Rican league or the Dominican league. You can say all you want about how well he's doing, in the Hawaiian, B-ball league, throwing just gas out there and nobody can hit him. But bring him into a stadium and let's see what he's got. I know he's up for it. I know he would love the opportunity. And I don't know what the truth is behind him not playing at a major league level. And if he's open to play at a major league level, if I'm the Diamondbacks, I would sure as hell give him a look.
Screaming for it.
I would give him a look because he could plug some holes up. I mean, we just lost Corbin Burns, and Zach Gallen has got a 5.15 ERA right now. And we're heading towards the middle part of the season. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if this guy could come up and help your team, I would sure as hell give him a look. But why isn't anybody doing it?
There must be more to it than what we know. Baker's Cocky Hen says that doesn't seem legal. By the way, Manfred, same asshat that allowed the massacre of the national anthem. What are you talking about?
Massacre of the national anthem.
Yeah, you're going to have to explain that one. I don't know. Hamilton Porter says, and if you go sign him, what exactly is Manfred going to do about it anyway? That's another good question. I don't know. There has to be more info we don't have.
Exactly. Yeah.
Moist One says, I'll be there tonight if anyone wants a kiss. What?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Maybe he's going to be at the game.
Oh.
The Diamondbacks game.
The Diamondbacks game.
Yeah. Yeah.
What section are you going to be in, Moist One?
Do you want to kiss, Jeffrey? Is that
No,
what
this is how I just make sure that everybody knows where not to go.
Yeah, good call.
Random Texter says, Jeffrey, in that series with the Diamondbacks and the Reds, what happened was the Reds scored more runs than the Diamondbacks.
Wow, astute insider, just
phenomenal,
devastating.
A
reporting.
Chiefs fan could come up with that sort of in-depth analysis.
So
wow, that's hard-hitting analysis, right? That's anal analysis right there.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, I was talking about the All-Star game. Remember the poor girl who was drunk? I don't remember that.
No, I don't remember.
No,
I'm drunk right now.
Mm.
Are you going to blame Manfred for that too? I blame my wife. She spikes my little delicious shakes. Hefty Lefty says, you could do, Jeffrey. You could go crazy there and add Ore-Ida fries on the top of the Ortega tasty shells. Ew. By the way, can I just say Ore-Ida fries are an abomination? They're not real French fries. Do you ever feel like I just ate real French fries after you eat Ore-Ida fries? I don't know.
Never had them. Never heard of them, actually.
They're the freezer and you put them on a pan and you stick them in the oven.
Well, you put them you put them on air fry in the oven and watch what happens.
So the air fryer might have made those better, yeah.
Yeah, you put them on air fry in the oven and oh my God, you have died and gone to heaven.
Okay, so if you don't want to be sexually objectified and possibly groped, Moist One is in he's in section 202, row 1, seat 69, which I am sure he bought that one on purpose.
Of course.
So avoid section 202 if you don't want the cold, sweaty, clammy hands of Moist One upon you.
Oh, yeah.
Hamilton Porter says, so who's in a worse state right now? Oh, I hate when people ask questions like this. The Diamondbacks or the Suns? I feel like the Diamondbacks at the moment because they're currently what's in front of us, but
I don't
the Suns are. I don't know.
I think the Suns are right now just a
you
dumpster
can't even
fire.
say that till we see what they do next.
I think the Suns are in a worse state, but they have a higher ceiling just because of how much Ishbia is willing to spend compared to Kendrick. So that's my 2 cents, I'd say.
And we don't know what they're doing yet. We don't know what they are doing. We don't know what their great or bad plan is. So that's hard to say, Hamilton Porter. And I hate questions like that. I hate that it's 2 teams in Arizona who are flopping around on the deck. Like that fish is about to die. I don't need this in my life. And, it is tough to be a fan of sports in Arizona, isn't it?
I think ASU is the saving grace this year, man. Like that's
I
what
hope
it's gonna
so.
be.
No
ASU
Scadaboo
football.
makes it harder. A lot of changes. We'll see what Kenny Dillingham is really made of. As the season starts up and begins,
I think they'll be very good.
The best thing is to have no
good.
expectations. I mean, go in
Really?
expecting the ASU. It might be some good games, might be some bad games. Don't have any expectations and just be pleasantly surprised. Or Scadaboo is such a big part of that team.
Massive. He's a massive part. I will say this though. So Dillingham kept one person on staff from the former staff that was before him, and it was Iguano, the running back coach. Iguano, say what you want. In terrible situations sometimes with Herm or Graham or whatever it may be, he has produced good running backs year after year after year. If there's anything Arizona State has done well and been consistent at these last 5-7 years or so, it's been the running back position. So Scadaboo, although he's gone, I think he's not going to be fully replaced. Arizona State's not going to have the running game that they did last year, but they're going to still have a good running game because of how good at his job Iguano is.
See, I disagree. I think that Iguano has produced running backs every year after year after year. And he's been a real asset for ASU and continues to produce running backs year after year.
Wait, you disagree? Child. I think Iguano has produced running backs year after year and has done an amazing job with that. I kind of disagree with you more.
How can you say that? I
wish Harris had something intelligent to add to this conversation, but so far he has not.
Apparently, I haven't. I'm high on ASU.
We should just go to a break so Harris can feel bad about himself.
Yeah.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
O'Reilly.
You need parts? We got parts. Product availability? Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for $10 more, or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or import direct pads for just $20. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks. Choose natural healing.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our naturopathic doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Life is full of bright moments, but sometimes those moments can seem too far away. Trained and caring crisis specialists in Arizona can assist you with any situation, big or small. Free and confidential help is only one text away, day or night. Text the word HOPE to 4HOPE. That's HOPE to 44673. These moments matter, and so do you. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
The Rich Eisen Show.
If Travis Hunter's out there standing where he is, if he can help Brian Thomas and he can help on defense, well, what are we doing? And he's smart and he can handle it. And Dion put him in. Like, what do you think? He hasn't had coordinators tug of war with him saying, "You come in my meeting, you come in my meeting." Yeah. I don't care. Listen, hydrate. Put him out there. 100 snaps a game. Got to do it.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580. The Fanatic.
Hydrate.
You got to make sure you're hydrating.
Why aren't you hydrating right now?
I am hydrating right now. I've got my Gatorade in here, right here.
Me too, Jeffrey. Got my water right here.
All right.
We're hydrated as can be.
It was hydrated, damn it. That's very important.
Hydrated and ready to go.
I don't want to talk about Diamondbacks anymore. Sir drives a lot. He says
All right.
Diamondbacks are rhubarb pie. Suns are rhubarb pie with a dirt crust.
Yeah. The Suns right now, in my opinion, it's a dumpster fire.
We don't know until they do a thing. We've got to see what the thing they do next. Then we can determine that. Right now, it's a potential dumpster fire.
Well, it's going to be a long damn season.
It's like Kevin Ray is standing over the Suns dumpster with a lighter, and somebody has filled it with some kerosene, and he's just like, "I'll let you know."
I don't think it's Kevin Ray.
Well, I mean, somebody from the Suns has got to hold the lighter. I don't know. I'm not going to blame Kevin Ray if things go bad, but
Tom
he is
Chambers.
the voice.
Tom Chambers.
Oh, that jackass! He would light it. He would light it just because he thought he was supposed to. Tom Chambers is not the brightest guy on the planet. It's not bright at all.
Oh boy!
It's like, hey, Tom, the teeth whitener, maybe not every day. Fighting Wampa says, I'm going to have to disagree with you guys. The one thing that ASU has going for him is their running back coach. Year after year, he produces a great running back room.
How dare you?
Yeah, that's pretty stupid. What you just said right there, Fighting
What
Wampa.
a lame take.
Jeez. There's nobody who knows more about college football
on this planet called Earth than Harris Hicks.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so whatever he says, we're going to go along
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Harris, what do you have to say about it?
I appreciate it. Well, I have to disagree with the fact.
Oh, shut
that
up,
he
Harris.
disagrees.
Nobody cares what you think. I have more important things to worry about right now. So there was something that happened. Some law got passed or something, I can't remember.
Yep.
Would you please tell us what the hell is going on? There was a law that was passed, and then there's changes afoot. And now NIL, like the schools can pay people directly. Can you just lay this out for us where, okay, think of it like we're third graders.
Okay.
And you got to explain it to us. So in your head, I want you to think, what would I tell Donnie?
All right. Yeah. Donnie's a great example.
Thank you.
Okay. So up to this
Hasn't even
point,
done anything.
Oh, he will.
give it time. It's in his blood. He's a troll.
Okay.
It's give it time. So up until this point, NIL has been legal, but schools haven't been able to pay athletes directly. They've had to rely on corporations outside of the university having nothing to do with them, quote, quote, to pay them. Now, there was a bill passed to schools can now pay athletes directly. So from the school's revenue budget. Why?
Why'd they change it?
It creates more oversight because these corporations would get in and there would be the NCAA or whoever wouldn't be able to regulate it because it wasn't from the schools themselves. Now it's from the schools themselves. But now, here's the thing. There's a salary cap, which is really interesting. $20.5 million schools have. So they can only pay $20.5 million to athletes of all sports.
So total.
All sports, not just football, total.
May I approach the bench?
Yes.
I'm not used to not running this. Sorry.
That's okay.
So the schools are limited with a salary cap, but that does not limit how much NIL the students get outside of the college. So the school says, here's some money for you, here's some money for you, but also we're going to take care of you outside of this by hooking you up with the Ford dealership or the Shakey's Pizza or whatever, and they're going to pay you some NIL, right?
Not true. Not true. So they created a college sports commission. Brian Seeley is his name. He was the MLB executive of Legal Laws and Orders for 8 years. He is leading that commission to where they will regulate and oversee all NIL transactions and everything, and they have to be reported. They are still coming up with laws and guidelines amongst the College Sports Commission. If you break those rules, if you go over the salary cap in any way, you are going to be punished, which is really interesting. Because
what are the punishments?
They're still coming up with it. It was just recently started. It has not been official yet, but they will come up with something. They will come up with something.
Okay, so now the only way a student can be paid is directly by the school,
from the
and
school,
not by advertisers outside.
But advertisers
that doesn't make any sense because that seems like now we're going backwards a bit for the students.
Advertisers can pay them or can donate, I guess, through the school. So okay, let me explain this.
There's a salary cap though, so there's still only so much. So I can't understand why Shakey's Pizza can't go to Randy White and say, hey, we want you to be our spokesperson.
They can.
And we will pay you for this. And that's separate from what the school is doing.
They can actually, but you can't have more than a $20.5 million total for all of it. So advertisers can
that's
still pay.
A restriction.
Advertisers
it doesn't matter.
Right. But the advertisers can still pay. The reason why there's a salary cap is this. I want to give you all this. So you have $20.5 million to pay. A lot of schools are going to go up to that threshold for the sake of competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens if you go over that? All of a sudden, think about this. In an athletic department, football and men's basketball are usually the only two sports that are positive profit sports. In rare areas, women's basketball, and probably in just the SEC, baseball. So for the most part, you get two sports that fund everything. Now, all of a sudden, that $20.5 million, instead of going to a bunch of small sports, is going to go to the players. So my question is, if that cap gets too much and is too big, what's going to happen to those other sports? That's why they made a salary cap like that.
Well, you would think the salary cap would be per sport.
Well, I know it is interesting because it isn't. And that makes me wonder because right now in college basketball, the SEC has dominated last year. It was the best conference by far. Now, since you have $20.5 million that you can only spend to athletes, a lot of that money in the SEC is going to go to football. So I feel like the winner of all of this is the Big East schools in basketball, because if they want to go all in on basketball, they can. You're not going to see Alabama or Auburn putting a lot into basketball because of that salary cap. So they're going to be putting it into football. So that is an interesting thing that you bring up, because I think the winner of this amongst any sport is Big East basketball. My thoughts. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's still a lot of question marks
There
on
are.
this.
There are.
But so what do you think? Do you think this is good for the college sports, or do you think it's bad for the college sports?
I think it's good. I think it's good for the climate that we're in. I think this is
We're
good
in the
because-
desert, but I don't know what that has to do with
Yeah,
anything.
It's very, very
Yeah,
dry,
very hot.
arid.
Very
Yeah,
dry. It's the Wild West.
you're bringing
It's
that
the
into
It's
this,
the
yeah.
Wild West, and it'll no
Uh-huh.
longer
It
be
is. It
as
is.
much of the Wild West because it's going to be regulated. Having a college sports commission is very, very, very good for the sport, especially since the House was able to pass a bill. Now, all of a sudden, there is a threatening legal overseer. There has never been that in these last 5 years of NIL being legal. Now there is. Now you're going to have people being able to regulate and put rules in place, and you have to think may start going to contracts, all that stuff. Since the schools can now pay players directly, they can be contractually obligated for the school instead of for a corporation that isn't affiliated with the school, quote, quote, even though they are, just not on paper. So
There
I
was
think this is a good thing.
There was no cap before with the
No
NIL.
cap before. There's no cap before.
You think that's a good idea, though?
I
limit the amount of money that they can make.
I think for the sake of the small sports, yes, because I don't think college sports was meant to be solely a business, which we can go down that rabbit hole.
You know, we are so
But yeah.
far gone.
We're so far gone that, but that's how I think.
There's no, I don't know. Everything has gotten all blurry now.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you look backwards and go, okay, what's right and best for the students?
Mhm.
We've run so far in the other direction from that, because originally it was, hey, you are a pretty good football player. We'd like you on our team.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And you know what we'll do to make it worth your while? You get a free education, a full ride scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, we'll put you up in a dorm, and maybe we'll even give you some food, and you just come play football for us and you get your education. And that sounds great.
Yep.
Now it's about way more than that. And I understand
Mm-hmm.
that billions of dollars were born on the back of these student athletes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's only fair they get some.
Yep.
They get a cut.
Yep.
But this is not, things have not gotten to this point neatly.
So
it's
here- yeah,
been a
not at
mess.
all.
And I honestly, we are so far off the plot. I don't know what the right thing to do is.
Yep. So here's something, Jeffrey, because the argument is, oh, college athletes should be paid because of, the amount of money and revenue that they bring to the sport, right? Or to the school, not to the sport. Thing about that is, what happens if that money goes to the players? What's going to happen to the small sports? All of a sudden, you've got to worry about Title IX. And remember, in Title IX, which is enforced by the NCAA, you have to have the same amount of male athletes as female athletes. So what happens to those small sports? You'd have to think about that. A lot of scholarship opportunities would be lost. A lot of people would not be getting free educations, and that would probably be a net negative. At the same time, there's players saying, hey, I'm worth this in the market. So it's this battle of business versus education opportunity, which, by the way, those two things are not meant to mix, but they're mixing here. And it's kind of the only thing in the world, to be honest, where those things mix so heavily.
Isn't this going to hurt the education? You mentioned education. Isn't this
Uh-huh.
going to hurt the educational aspect collegiate sports.
For the students that are in the sports, but not for anyone else, unless a bunch of that 21 million is pulling money away from other things like laboratories or
unlikely
stuff the students need.
Could happen down the road, but unlikely because all these departments are separate, and so they're just separate entities. They're within one organization, but they're separate entities. So I'm not sure if schools because you look at most biggest endowments of schools in the US, they're all Ivy League schools because of how much they make off academics. So there's a lot to be made in academics. So I would be surprised if they pulled some money from academics that could be spent on something that's more of a net profit for them going to sports. That's what I'm saying.
Let's see here. Bottom lines this wave, Dave. How much is the commission's commission?
How much is the
what commission is the commission's commissioning?
Don't know yet.
What do they get?
Good question. Don't quite know.
So I guess Harris doesn't know everything. It's very disappointing.
He's
you should have just said, hey, easily 20%.
Yeah, I should have said that, but it has not been reported. So
Hamlin Porter says, anyone else notice how the college football playing field is leveled since everyone can pay players and not just the SEC?
I don't think it has leveled. I don't think it has leveled as much as you.
Well, maybe he's talking about the primary, bigger
because
schools.
The SEC and Big Ten are completely monopolizing the sport. It is not leveled. If that's what also Saban retiring was a huge aspect to it. Let's not forget that. It has leveled it a little bit.
Sir Drives a Lot says football and basketball on the college level have not cared about the education aspect of their respective sports in a long time.
I think this is true. I mean, they make the university a lot of money, and when the education system and business mix, it's not a good mix and it's not supposed to happen. So I agree with you.
888-368-1580. So I've been holding on to this. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about what Ryan Day said.
Okay.
Ryan Day says the Big Ten deserves 4 AQ spots in the college football playoff. He says, we're in the Big Ten. We have 18 teams and some of the best programs in the country. I feel like we deserve at least 4 automatic qualifiers.
I'm in high disagreement with the AQs, man. Automatic qualifiers.
I agree.
That is in high disagreement because
I agree with your disagreeing.
The reason why they're trying to do it is because they don't have faith in the committee to properly evaluate certain teams.
I also don't have faith in the committee.
I don't have any faith in the committee. I think they are a massive reason. Like you talk about USC and Notre Dame getting canceled. That's one of the traditions of college football. Why is that getting canceled? Because the committee is not properly evaluating strength of schedule. That's why. So they're going to play some easier opponents. I don't have faith in the committee. Going back to what I said, though, 4 teams automatically getting in. Why would you automatically get in? Say you're a 9-3 Big Ten team, and there is a 8-4 Big Ten team, and you're the 4th best team in the Big Ten that year. The Big Ten's having a down year, but there's an 11-1 or 12-0 really good Big 12 or ACC team. I mean, not 12-0, but 11-1. That's better, noticeably better, but they won't get in because of this rule that was blindly established that you have to get 4 Big Ten teams in. I don't think that's fair. I'm not with automatic qualifiers in the Big Ten or the SEC.
Last Optimist says, I know the school's been pushing for that Title IX to count men and women's sports rather than athletes due to the sheer number of football players.
Yeah.
Do we know the current status of that Title IX rule?
As of now, we don't quite know the current status of that, but that is something to keep a lookout for because men's non-revenue sports in this current format are in jeopardy.
888-368-1580. Let's take a break, and maybe we'll talk a little more about this when we come back. It's the, what was this?
Daily Blender.
Daily
Blender.
Thank
you. Yeah, I couldn't remember what was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, it's on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star for bacon that just won't quit. Gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price of participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platforms.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa. And outrun a few.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
Volunteering creates positive change. You can help people in your community facing adversity, offering them hope and a path to a better future. You will transform lives, find fulfillment, and discover a sense of purpose. Join the Army behind the Salvation Army, dedicated to meeting human needs without discrimination. Discover how at salvationarmysouthwest.org. Volunteers don't necessarily have the time. They simply have the heart. Sponsored by the Salvation Army Southwest Division.
We talk sports. 1580 The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So Harris, with that mustache, don't do what this guy in England did.
Oh, what did he do?
Well, his mom in England, she took her kids to see Lilo and Stitch, or is it Lilo and Stitch?
Lilo.
And noticed there is this adult man sitting by himself, munching on snacks and watching the movie.
Wow.
Okay.
By himself.
Okay.
Okay.
That's kind of weird.
Well,
that's a grown man sitting there watching Lilo and Stitch with no kids.
What business is it of hers? Maybe he's a Lilo and Stitch fan.
Come on, man. No grown up should be sitting in the theater like that. That's creepy as hell.
Maybe a Disney adult.
Have you gone to Disneyland lately? It's all adults.
Oh my gosh.
That's
yes.
That's a living hell.
All adults.
Living hell as an idea is going to Disneyland, standing in those kinds of
Yeah.
lines.
And my daughter, she's 30. She's a huge Disney fan.
So if that dude was sitting there with a gal, I'd be like, okay, he's there watching it, with her. It's not weird. But a dude sitting there with snacks and he's kind of looking around.
Well, I mean,
ooh, that's creepy.
Maybe he's a Disney fan.
I think children's movies are one movie a man should not go sitting and watch by himself.
I mean, maybe, but who are we to judge? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Creepy.
He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just watching the show.
I didn't say he did anything wrong.
I'm just saying, yeah, it's going to make everyone else nervous. It's going to make people a little bit uneasy. A grown ass man sitting there eating his snacks, watching a kid's movie.
What kind of snacks did he have?
That was undetermined.
Huh. Because, if it was popcorn, maybe he had the old popcorn trick going.
Those Disney adults, man, I'll be honest. I struggle with it sometimes. It's just, I don't get it. Sometimes there's a lot of I'd classify it as escapism in this world. I think the Disney adults thing is just like peak escapism. I would classify it as.
You know what? That's fine. And Donnie says, what if I watch The Lion King by myself at home?
That's a good movie.
That's fine.
That Lion
It's
King.
not even about whether it's a good movie or a bad movie. If this dude likes Lilo and Stitch, just wait till it comes out on video. Don't creep everyone else out.
Oh,
Donnie,
maybe.
you can
Well, I
be
don't know
weird
about
at home and nobody cares.
Maybe he really likes it.
Maybe this guy likes the theater experience and he likes the theater popcorn.
Lilo and Stitch is a nostalgic movie for me. Not saying I would go and out of my way and see it by myself.
Especially not with that
pretty good-
mustache.
No.
This guy was just noticed and kind of like, huh. And then this woman posts online about it. Yeah, you show up with that mustache, you'll be arrested.
I don't know about taking a picture of him and posting it online.
Yeah,
he
that's
hasn't done,
Well,
he hasn't
they
done
didn't-
anything
nobody said
wrong.
about a picture. They just post this mom just posted up that she saw a guy sitting there.
Okay, I see.
And was uneasy about it. Of course,
Okay.
more than 3,100 people voted on this and said 95% said nothing wrong with a grown man going to see a kid's movie by himself.
Yeah.
I guess I'm one of those 5% who says it's not a great look. That's not a great look.
Well,
It's
it might
America.
not be.
You can do what you want. Well, that's
Yeah.
England, but they have
Yeah.
freedom too.
Well,
And you can do what you want in a free country, but it's not always probably the best thing. And you just made everybody else uncomfortable. Like Harris's mustache.
Maybe
I don't
he's
think that's the case with my
maybe he's just a big Disney fan and he loves the theater experience. I mean, what's it to? I don't understand why it's this mom's business. You know what? Mind your own business, homemaker Betty.
Yeah.
Well said, Randy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't know
Homemaker
if,
Betty.
if I were sitting there, I wouldn't probably post about it, but I'd be kind of giving him the side eye, kind of keeping an eye. I'm like, what's that dude
Well, I
doing
mean, it's
over there?
okay.
What's it-
Obviously, in these days and times,
Protect
keep
the
an eye,
kids,
keep an eye on it, but you don't need to post about it. I mean,
Mm.
I know Barbara Busybody over there thumbing one out about.
Well,
you should-
Barbara
there's a
Busybody
man
was,
in here,
no,
and he's watching Lilo and Stitch.
all she said was when she posted on this parents forum, she says, "Is it unreasonable to think this is odd?" She wasn't being like that. She was kind of like the same thing I'm doing. I'm like, dude, there's a dude over there sitting by himself. What the hell?
You're not going to thumb one out though. While there's a guy in there, you're not. Jeffrey's not
I
going
don't know. I don't really. Oh, okay, that's what you meant.
bring up your fan book or whatever it is and start.
Never heard the term "thumb one out" before.
Hey,
I wasn't quite sure.
thumb out a text.
Yeah. There you go.
You're not going to throw some thumbs on that and start
How does
talking.
that even work?
There's this dude over here. It's really creepy. I mean, what's the big deal? I don't
I
understand.
might text my wife. I might lean over and go, "Dude, there's a dude over there by himself. What the
Oh,
hell?"
that's one thing.
No, and then when she posted, she was just kind of like, "Am I being unreasonable that made me uncomfortable?" And everybody
Yes.
said, "Yeah, I guess it is." I don't think it is unreasonable. I think I'd be uncomfortable too. Just keep an eye on the guy. Moist One says, "I'm sure looks had something to do with it. If the guy looked like Brad Pitt, I'm sure there'd be there would be nothing to say."
Yeah,
he could be right there.
She'd be like
Moist One could be
sneaking over
right.
there.
The
To
guy
sit
looks like
next to
Brad
him.
Pitt. Doesn't have to sit there by himself.
That's true. Maybe he wants to. Maybe it's the only time he ever can get away from the flock of women that are
Mhm.
throwing themselves at him.
Listen, I get
What
it.
do you think I go through?
I understand. Jonesy says, "I agree, Jeffrey. I think it's creepy as hell. Maybe he got stood up on a date, though. Lots of possibilities."
maybe.
That's also a good one. Yeah.
Let's just
Could
say I
happen.
had a date and I was going to meet her at Lilo and Stitch and she stood me up. Guess what I don't do?
Go to a cigar bar and drink some whiskey. That's what I'm
Well,
doing.
that's what I do do.
Yeah, do.
Do. I don't go to the movie. It's like, well, she's not here. I'm not going to go, well, I guess I better watch it. No, I'm going to be like, what other cooler movies are here for grown ass man? Dropping the Soap says, could have been worse. Could have been Pee Wee Herman in the theater. Well, he's dead. So
Yeah.
Swave Dave says, Jeffrey, we know you snuck out to catch the Scooby-Doo movie with Sarah Gellar, right? No. I've never seen the Scooby-Doo. And then even then, that was back when,
Scooby-Doo.
if I were, I wouldn't go by myself to that either.
Okay.
Swazman says, he sent a picture here. What do we got? He says, Jeffrey, I'm watching the Cubs Phillies right now. Nico Horner got thrown out yesterday. And when the manager also, what he said to the umpire, looks like you're having a bad day, implying that he can't see a strike from a ball. Is that why he got thrown out for saying, looks like you're having a bad day? Or is that what he said after the guy got tossed?
I don't know. Huh.
I'm not asking you,
I feel
Harris.
like you like.
I'm asking Swazman.
Oh.
Because he's the one that texted it in. He actually saw it.
Interesting. Huh.
Is it? Or you just didn't have any other words?
No, I didn't have any. I thought what was interesting is saying, looks like you're
Fantastic.
having a bad day. I don't know if that's worth throwing someone out over. That's what I was thinking.
I saw a guy got tossed just for doing this. He was tapping his head. Like review it. And then the umpire threw him out. And of course, the batter about murdered him after that.
My dad just texted me and said I was you on YouTube. I was labeled as Jeffrey on YouTube. So thank you, Dad, for the heads up. Thank you.
Yeah, we probably didn't need to mention that on there. Swazman says, yes, that's what the announcer said that he said. And that's what got him thrown out.
How does
saying,
the
looks
announcer
like you're
know
having a
what he
bad
said?
day here?
How does the announcer know what he said?
Yeah,
was
maybe the mic's
sitting-
picked up on it.
Yeah, close enough to hear him.
Yeah.
Dropping the soap says, I like the thumb one out to Sarah Michelle Gellar. Still don't understand how that works.
Yeah,
I don't want to know how that
me
works.
neither.
That's
just
really
not-
none of my damn
that's-
business.
Yeah, it's not what I meant by that.
So remember when that dude fell off the upper deck?
Yes, yeah,
And
I
onto
remember
the,
that. Yeah, you
field?
asked if he was fair or foul. Yeah,
I mean, that was a fair question to ask if
Absolutely.
he fell in foul or fair territory.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works with soccer, but a dude died after falling from the second tier at the UEFA Nations League final match between Spain and Portugal.
Oh, yeah.
He
Wow.
just died of death, fell right down. And you know what they did? They kept playing.
And they should, right? I mean,
You're like, this is a long ass game. We can't stop this for anyone.
no, they got extra time, stoppage time. They can't stop the game for death.
Afterwards, the manager of the Spanish team said, "I'd like to express my condolences to the family of the family." But I don't know how to speak Spanish, but that he did at least mention it at the end. But Portuguese won in a penalty shootout, 5-3, and they were all like, "Yay! Oh, what are they carrying over there? Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. It's just a body.
Yeah,
just a dead guy.
Nothing like European soccer, man.
Well, I
like it.
mean, how do you feel about? I mean, I guess when there's 100,000 people, is that how many people are probably in the stands there at in Munich?
Less than that, probably like 70, 80. But anyway,
still,
still.
Rabid soccer fans, do you stop anything?
Where did he fall? Did he fall
From the second tier
to where?
Well, I would imagine the first tier, Harris. What do you mean? He fell down.
I didn't know if he fell on the field or like on the side of
He
the
was
field
on the second tier
and fell on the first.
and he went right down. Boom. And that was the end of that.
Did he hit anybody on the first tier? Did he land on anybody?
No.
Yeah.
I think that plays a big factor in if they stop the game or not. So that's why I was asking.
How many tiers do you have to fall before they stop a game?
If you fall on the field and everyone sees it, then you're stopping the game. But if he fell just on, the bleachers to another bleacher, then not everyone sees it. Therefore, they may not know about it to stop the game.
Yeah, the match continued while the spectator was being treated by paramedics, according to the ESPN. So
Wow.
no hefty lefty. He says it's just stoppage time, no stoppage of lifetime. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, there's
Good
no
one.
no
Good
reason to
one.
stop the clock. Don't stop the clock. Swave Dave says maybe it's because Lilo and Stitch is made by DreamWorks. They do awesome work. In fact, the upcoming How to Train Your Dragon movie, I'm going to take my wife. If she wouldn't go, I wouldn't mind seeing it by myself. However, she would beat me if I did that.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Yeah,
There'll be some.
don't do it.
We
There'll
don't
be
want you to
some
get beat.
busybody Betty that has got nothing better to do with her
Yeah.
daughter in tow than sit there and spread news, gossip over the neighborhood gossip line. Oh, there's a man in
No,
here.
listen, there's a way to take care of this, Dave. If your wife won't go with you, drive through the neighborhood and pull up on some kids and say, hey, Would you like to go see the dragon movie with me? You can bring your friend. And there's nothing weird about it.
Oh my gosh.
According to Randy.
According to Randy. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Yeah.
Dropping the soap says, I wonder if you fall off a bleacher in the woods, do you really fall? Well, yeah, you do fall.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much noise you'd make.
Yeah.
Swuzman says, hey, Jeffrey, I'm pet sitting with this bull terrier named Bandit, the old man dog. Doesn't he look like Spuds McKenzie or that Target store dog? Yeah, what you do is you get a little black grease pencil and draw the circle around one of his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
You'll
Absolutely.
probably be fired by the pet's owners.
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't think you get a pencil. I think you just get spray paint.
Do you even know what a grease pencil is?
No, grease pencil.
Yeah, spray paint. What are you trying to do? Blind the dog?
Yeah, you don't
What's
want to
wrong
do
with
that.
you?
Gosh, sorry, guys.
A laundry
I was just
pencil is
trying to
also what they call a grease pencil.
Yeah.
Dang
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
try to be better.
Elzar of the Mountain says, just shows if you can't get decent seats, stay home. Well, I mean, here's the thing about the fan who died. He died with way better seats than he started with. That's the positive you say at the funeral.
Yeah.
If you think about
Is that
it,
the
he died
icebreaker?
in way better seats than what he started.
You would get punched in the face.
See, he's in better seats now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You'd get a couple laughs though.
He died doing what he loved, plummeting. All right, guys, hour 3 is up next. It's a Daily Blender.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
You need parts? We got parts. Product availability? Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for $10 more, or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or import direct pads for just $20. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our naturopathic doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
First episode psychosis is no joke, and neither is getting help as soon as symptoms show up. Early treatment gives you a better chance at feeling like yourself again. If you are showing signs like having hallucinations or trouble thinking clearly, don't wait. Counseling, medication, and support from loved ones can slow down the effects of psychosis before it's too late. Speak with your doctor today and visit learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MedForce, working to build healthier communities.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third
settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Harris Hicks in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, all right, so what do you want to talk about now?
How about that French Open?
Sorry?
How about that French Open yesterday?
Okay, you're not allowed to choose what we talk about.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I thought you asked.
Oh, boy.
That Carlos Alcaraz Yannick Sinner match was one of the best matches I've ever seen. That
Tennis,
was
right. We're talking about tennis, right?
tennis.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Mm,
What about it? What do you mean, oh boy, oh boy?
Oh no. Just
yeah.
It was.
You can kick their balls, but you can't touch them.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. You can do that.
Tennis.
That's not what That's not what he means by French Open, moist one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I thought you were going to regale us with tales of the French Open, Harris.
Oh man, well I didn't know I was allowed to.
All I
now
know
I
is
will.
Cocoa,
Now you're on.
Cocoa Puffs and
Yep. Pretty sure
Carlos
that's it.
Alcaraz.
and, Carlos Mencia won the Phoenix
Alcatraz.
French
No,
Open.
it's Carlos
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz. They named the
Carlos
prison after him.
Right, Alcatraz and Guff.
So it was one of the best matches I've ever seen. I mean, it lasted like over 6 hours.
Wow.
It was honestly when you
No
talk
tennis
about,
match should last 6 hours.
Well,
This
this
one
one
did.
was
Yeah.
so good that it just couldn't end. Like this one. So
6 hours? That's 2 baseball games.
So Yannick Sinner started, who's ranked #1 in the world, by the way.
Yeah,
who's
because he's a sinner. That's why.
Yeah.
last
sinner.
year he was like 52-3 with all 3 losses to Carlos
Because he
Alcaraz.
sold his soul to the devil.
Oh my gosh.
Well, tell us about the tennis.
Okay,
We're
okay.
waiting.
All right. He's #2 in the world. Alcaraz. Sinner was #1.
Of
And
course he was.
Them going up against each other was massive because Carlos Alcaraz, he's 22 and he has 5 majors already. He's on pace to beat Djokovic, Nadal, Federer. If he keeps that up, he's on pace to be the greatest one to ever play. And Yannick Sinner is #1 in the world and has not lost to anyone not named Carlos Alcaraz in a while. And
Thought it was
so
Alcatraz.
he
I
was
don't
up.
know what he's talking
He was up 2 sets to none. And by the way, you have to win 3 sets in a major final in tennis as opposed to 2. He had a 5. Yannick Sinner was. He had 1 more set to win. Was up 5, and if he got this one, he would win 3 sets to like I think 1. And Alcaraz ended up coming back down 40-0. And not only that, when he came back and won that last set, he won the last 2 and ended up winning it. And on a tiebreaker set, he ended up dominating it with some of the best tennis I have ever seen anyone play. It was one of the best comebacks in sports history, I'd say. And it was an unbelievable final that I think captivated a lot of not just European eyes, got like 10 million views in Europe, but American eyes as well. It was an amazing thing of
the
sports.
Super Bowl of tennis?
Wimbledon. Wimbledon's it's up there when you talk about greatest tennis matches ever. Like 2009 Wimbledon, it's when Federer played Nadal.
Okay,
and that
so
lasted forever.
Wimbledon's a
It's
Super
up
Bowl
there.
tennis. The French Open is where they use tone. Right? I don't
The French Open-
honestly understand.
The French Open
Ooh.
is like it's like golf. I'd say the Masters is Wimbledon and the British Open is the French Open.
So they play with putters then?
No, they don't. Imagine if
You
they
can't play
did. That
tennis
would
with a
be
putter.
insane.
You'd need
No,
an
you
iron or a
a
wood.
lot of
wouldn't you?
skill. Yeah, you would need
Yeah.
it. Well, then you wouldn't be able to hit it on the other side.
You
with
know,
the driver would.
When I went to school, I had a mandatory PE, which they don't really do too much anymore, but I had mandatory PE.
Sure.
And one time we had to play tennis. And so me and my buddy, we were in the same PE class together. And what he would do is he would pitch me the balls and I would hit the balls out of the tennis court. And then we would not have any more tennis balls. And the coach made us sit along the fence so we didn't have to play tennis.
Oh, really?
That's how we got out of
Tennis-
it every day.
Tennis is an underrated sport, and it can be extremely popular in
It's
America.
a lot of fun when you launch those balls out there about about 250 feet.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
and they're gone. I
You
mean,
hear
when
that
you
noise off the
really?
bat?
Oh yeah,
The metal
yeah,
bat?
yeah, oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I played tennis in high school.
Did you?
Yeah, that's right.
For one little brief time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I had my appendix out right before Hell Week when I was 15. So I had to miss that season. And so then the English teacher, Mr. Powell's like, "Hey, O'Brien, you should play tennis." And I'm like, okay. And this is a hard ass teacher who I always felt like he had it in for me. And so I thought, well, maybe if I play tennis, maybe he'll be nice to me and give me a good grade. And so I go out there and I start playing the tennis. And I was like, man, all the nerds that played tennis were very unathletic. And I was in peak athletic as soon as I healed from my appendix.
Sure.
And so my secret was, there was a deal. Whoever won the wind sprints or the line, exercise, whoever was the first got to set out the next one. So I only had to do every other one because I whipped these nerds every single time.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
And I was getting pretty good at the tennis. I was starting to get kind of good at it. And then my ex-girlfriend walks by and looks down. She goes, nice knees. And then I was like, she basically just made me feel very unmanly at that
Damn.
moment.
Damn.
Oh, that's
And I'm
not
like,
nice.
I'm done. I'm out. I'll go
You
back.
don't, ladies. You don't go around criticizing knees. You just don't do that to a guy.
Oh, yeah, you
Well,
don't
I
do
mean,
that.
even though if it sounds like a compliment, I was just like, I just made me feel very unmanly. And I'm like, what am I doing playing tennis? I'm like, I'm just going to go.
Tennis?
I'm just going to exercise with the football team because they would walk by and give me crap too because it was right on their way to the football field. I was like, whatever. Yeah, I'm dating your girlfriend. Shut up. And but then I was just like, no, I better go exercise with those guys.
It's not like tennis isn't a manly sport though. So I don't know why. I don't know why.
Can
you
I
got
tell
some
you?
crap for
Because
that.
at that age, nobody manly was playing but me.
Oh, as a bunch of nerds. You said that.
Bunch
before.
of nerds.
Bunch of nerds. Oh, shoot. Yeah. I
Bunch
can
of
see
white
that.
bellied nerds.
Yep. I believe it.
Nondescript says, do your computer screens show real time listener drop off once tennis is mentioned? You know what? I get there is a screen I could have up for that, but I didn't have it up there,
Oh,
so I
boy.
can't say whether or not we lost a lot of current listeners by letting Harris talk about tennis. For God's
I'm
sake.
not liking the tennis slander. This was an amazing
tennis
match.
libel. Harris, get
was-
it right.
Yeah, because it's in writing. That's right.
Yeah, I'll write
that's
it down.
true.
I'll
Yeah.
post it right to your forehead.
Yeah,
Wow.
right to my forehead.
Now, let me just be honest. I don't mind if tennis is on TV. I'll watch it, and it can be very entertaining, and it's a fun sport. And at that level, yes, it's not an unmanly sport at all. It's a lot of skill, a lot of athleticism. It's
Yeah.
absolutely a sport.
Yeah.
But nobody cares.
You know, French Open, they play on clay. They don't even play.
They do
on,
play, and Nadal won the
It's
French
clay.
Open 13
See, I'd be tempted to sit down and start making little animals out of
Yeah,
the clay,
yeah,
and they'd
yeah.
probably not be happy with me.
Well,
putting
it's
holes
not
in.
wet clay; it's dry clay.
I think people really care.
By the time I was done with it to be wet.
Well, I guess
I think
you
people
could-
really
you could
cared
pee
about
on
this
it, I
match.
guess, and
though.
make it wet.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. People really cared about this match. It's, I mean, Alcaraz and Ben Shelton had like over 1 million viewers, and so this one is, I guarantee
Worldwide.
this one had, in the U.S. and Europe, man, in Europe it has like
1 million
9
in
to
the
10
US,
million
where there's
were Alcaraz and
350 million people. You're
Mhm.
right. What a barn burner that was.
You'd be surprised the amount of sporting events that don't get 1 million viewers.
They canceled
the
my
WNBA
favorite
would
show in
kill
the
for 1
90s.
million
My
viewers.
favorite show in the 90s was the Aaron Sorkin show, Sports Night. They canceled that. And guess how many viewers that had on a weekly basis?
How much?
9 million.
That was back
In
when was that, though?
1999.
Yeah, that was back. So
This is 2025. 1 million people is like 50,000 people back then.
when they calculate ratings now, they can't calculate people who stream. So or do like and a bunch of illegal streaming too. And so the numbers are typically at the lowest. Also,
You mean
in Europe, like 10 million people watched. You know
You
what
mean
the what you say,
people
Randy?
are trying to steal the streaming rights to this and watch it illegally?
There's illegal streaming is
Wow.
huge issue. Yeah, you're like there are
Good heavens.
tons of websites where you can watch it without paying anything, and people resort to that. I have tons of friends who do it. So
To watch tennis?
Watch, yeah, tennis. I have friends
You
who
have
watched
tons
it.
of friends that steal the tennis feeds.
I have friends. Yeah, I do
Wow.
actually. Yeah.
You hang around with a rough crowd.
Yeah, you
Do
could
not
say.
make eye contact with Harris.
Don't
now.
make eye
He's a
contact.
badass.
Yeah, I
His
know.
friends steal tennis feeds.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
that's
is
what
a
we
hard
do.
ass.
Usually the bullies run away. when
Cops
they
are going
hear
to
that.
pull up on your
Yeah.
squad.
Yeah.
They'll
The
probably
feed-
have to send like a fully
just start
geared up
running.
SWAT team for your friends.
Yeah. Oh
You
my
don't
gosh.
mess with kids who steal tennis.
Yep. You hear it.
Scottsdale PD is on their way right now.
They hear it. It's the guy that stole the tennis rights. Oh my goodness. They all start running away, crying to their mommies.
They're in the meeting. It's like, okay, we're going to hit this house. All right. Okay. We got the egress here. We got the window here. What do these kids do? They stole tennis.
They stole tennis.
Jesus,
They
Bob,
stole
you
it.
didn't tell me that. We're going to need the tank. We're going to need the tank. Yeah. So other types of sporting events, I'm surprised that people would bet, and I guess why not, on a track event. I didn't even know you could bet on track events, but FanDuel had to ban a guy because this guy went out and was heckling Gabby Thomas at a track event. He was upset, and he's, actually, no, he was trying to get in her head. He says, I made Gabby lose by heckling her, and it made my parlay win. And he posted this video or something on the X, and then FanDuel saw that and said, you are banned from ever using our thing.
Wow.
You don't harass the athletes.
Wow.
But he went out there, was just yelling at stuff and followed her around and just gave her grief the entire time. I guess, hey, if somebody is heckling you like that, it could mess you up. I don't know if that's why Gabby Thomas won or lost, but yeah, this guy just trying to affect and imagining that he did affect, the bet by basically tearing her down. Not cool.
So I have an interesting question.
We'll let you know if it's interesting.
He ended up winning. He ended up winning the bet.
Yes, he did.
So did he get paid out?
He got paid out, but afterwards, because FanDuel can't just take the money back, they're like, you know what? You're banned.
So I wonder if he was winning too much that FanDuel used that as an excuse and actually got scared and banned him. Because there's a lot of people who win too much in sports books and get banned by them. So I wonder. It's just a thought.
I don't know.
Just
On
a
this,
thought.
at least on face value, FanDuel said, yeah, we can't have people because this happens all over sports. People getting death threats like that baseball player the other day.
Yeah.
People are talking crap to football players because it messed up their parlay or their fantasy football even.
Yeah.
So harassment of athletes is across the board up because of the legalization of betting, but also because of fantasy sports. But you do these things, criminal charges can come. This guy could be criminally charged. Mr. 100K a day is what he called himself. And, that if that's true, 100K a day, maybe you're right. Part of FanDuel's efforts were this dude's making too much money.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's how you got to do it, by harassing athletes, yeah, you don't need to be betting.
Yeah, I just wonder if the FanDuel Corporation saw it as like, ooh, now's our chance to ban him. This is a
how does
we're gonna use this.
little
Just a
Mr.
thought.
Tennessee Harris Hicks come out here with he's got like this Eddie Haskell shiny face, like, hey everybody, it's got it. And now you just went full conspiracy theory on FanDuel saying this is a deep dark secret. He was winning too much money and they had to take him down. It's like, unless you got a cigarette in one of your hands, we're gonna have to get you a fake cigarette where you sit there and go, let me tell you what happened. If you start throwing out conspiracy theories, we're gonna need to change your image.
Triple H is he's actually a very shrewd bettor.
Yes, this is true, Randy. Around college football and college hoop season, I start.
But have you ever been
used to be a
angry
side hustle.
enough to
No.
send out a tweet, send out an email, send out a direct message, go down to a track or a field or a stadium and say, hey, idiot, you ruined my bet?
I have never done that. But also, people got to understand that place these bets. You place it at your own risk, man. You place it at your own risk.
Yeah.
They don't owe anything to you.
People have an overdeveloped sense of self-importance.
It makes me so mad.
And they think that it should matter to somebody if they cost you money by not doing what you hoped they would do.
Yeah.
It's a bet.
I can't stand it.
It's not a promise.
Yeah. Makes
You
me
know,
furious.
there's no guarantees.
Yep.
Period.
Yep. People think something's owed to them.
888-368-1580. Oh my gosh. You know, sports are so different when it comes to the rest of the world and soccer. So, you know, Lionel Messi, you know, he's from Argentina.
Yep.
And he played for this club in Argentina. Now, there's some boys currently in that club, that soccer club. And, you know, they all have scholarships and it's, you know, they're good players and stuff. They just got suspended for 3 months. And all it took to get suspended was they had a picture taken with Ignacio Malcora,
who's
from Rosario Central.
What?
So, well, let me explain. Rosario Central, well, that is one of the rival clubs with Lionel Messi's boyhood club, the Boca Juniors.
So
because these kids who were in Lionel Messi's boyhood club just happened to get pictures with somebody from a different club, they all got suspended. How dare you get a photo with the enemy?
Wow.
They had their scholarships to the school taken away. Club acknowledged the photo was taken at the request of some parents. So it wasn't even the kids.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't even their idea. Their parents are like, hey, get your picture with this guy. And they're like, okay. And that was it. These kids, they attend Escuela de Fútbol Infantil Malvinas Argentinas.
Spot on, Jeffco.
Thank you. Same school Messi and Argentina's World Cup winning coach Lionel Scaloni went to. And because they had their picture taken with Rosario Central's Ignacio Malcora, scandal.
Wow.
So 6 kids lost their scholarship. They're suspended for 3 months.
That is insane.
They ain't messing around. So here, let me put this into perspective. Let's say you're a junior Cardinal, a junior Arizona Cardinal. You're one of the Bird Gang's bunch, right? And here come the Seattle Seahawks to town. Wow. And oh wow, look there's a very famous Seattle Seahawks player. There aren't any anymore.
His name's Ralph Romano.
Who's the most famous? I don't know who's famous on that team now.
No.
Give me a name.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. There you go.
So these kids, they see the Sam Darnold and think we should have our picture taken with that autistic young man.
Yeah.
And then so they go over to him and they get in the picture. And then Michael Bidwell says, "Oh my gosh, you took a picture with a rival teammate.
Yeah,
get out of my stadium. I don't want to see you again for 3 months. And give me all your T-shirts. Not now. That's weird. Just send them in.
Wash them first.
Yeah, wash them.
Yeah,
that's kind of what that's like. Kind of. Sort of.
Well, it would be like, get off the team. You're never on the team again.
So they suspended these soccer players.
They're suspended for 3 months, but they've lost scholarship. So if they go back after the 3 months, their parents have to pay.
The losing scholarship is crazy to me. Like that's soccer in Europe is one thing, but soccer in South America is
it's
like
huge.
different.
Yeah.
You know about that Brazil goalkeeper that ended up he almost got murdered when he gave up like tons of goals in a game. It was like in the 90s, like 2014 World Cup, I think it was. He gave up like 7 goals against Germany.
Yeah.
And ended up this other goalkeeper got nearly got killed. Dude, it is insane.
It is serious.
They ain't messing around when it comes to soccer.
Yeah.
And
they don't.
By admission, the director of the school said the decision was an internal corrective to prevent these mistakes of uploading photos from being repeated. Meaning, we're making an example of these kids. That you don't put these pictures up. They didn't say you can't get your picture with them. Just don't post them on the internet. Don't put that out there. This is, don't put them out there when
bonkers.
When your kids are on our squad later on in life. Oh, look who I got a picture with 10 years ago. Now they can't do anything about it, can they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No scholarship to take away. That is insane, man.
So we don't like it when the Seahawks fill the stadium at State Farm during a Cardinals game, these people ain't messing around.
Yeah, they're not playing games,
if
man.
the NBA was like that, it'd be a way cooler product.
I think all products would be able to make way cooler product.
But the NBA needs that. Needs a little
there'd
bit
be
of
a
that.
huge investigation into LeBron James jet skiing with Chris Paul and Draymond Green and
Yeah,
Kevin
man.
Durant and all these
That
guys.
don't happen, man. You don't do that
Little
stuff.
Group vacation. They'd be like, that's a huge scandal.
Yeah. That would, I mean, NBA needs some of that.
All right, listen, we have to take a break. When we come back, I have no idea what we're going to talk about.
Football.
Yeah, okay. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454 or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room and now everything smells weird.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous. The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks. Choose natural healing.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our naturopathic doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
It's the bone-crushing hits. The searing sounds of training camp. Come on, knock your ass back! All gas, no brakes. Let's go! Soon, the new recruits will show up for minicamp. And then, it's down to business in training camp. When it comes to the NFL, we talk about it. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for the NFL.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So, okay, let's talk football. So, I think we mentioned this last week. At the moment that Aaron Rodgers signed with the Steelers, they went from plus 4,500 underdog to a plus 4,500 underdog. But over the weekend, that has changed a little bit. It did move a little to plus 4,000 now. So,
okay.
40-1 long shots to win that Lombardi trophy. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers not moving the needle. And really, let's be honest, it's not a surprise. Here is the other surprise. It turns out it wasn't 10 million like we'd been told.
He's playing for $13.65 million plus incentives, and the incentives can take him up to $19.5 million.
Really?
Which is still damn cheap. I don't know anybody who's making less money than him. Is it Russell Wilson? I think Russell Wilson's making less.
Oh, at the quarterback position, I'd have to say he's right around the 20s. I am getting
Russell Wilson is actually making less, but I think he has more incentives for possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. But he has to hit all of his incentives, which means the Giants have to go 17-0 for Russell Wilson to make more money than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so there are, let's see, 12, 15, 18, 20. There are about 20 quarterbacks making more than Aaron Rodgers.
I feel like there's 31.
Are there?
30. Yeah.
Per year I'm talking about. Not total.
Yeah, we're looking at this year.
Yeah, because he has a 1-year contract. So
still 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, by the way, will talk to reporters tomorrow after mini camp practice. So I guess that means that he's practicing now. Is he? Is he at practice? I don't know.
Apparently, yeah.
I still stand by the notion that they drugged this out because he didn't feel like going to OTAs. That's it. They drug it out because of that. And watch for this to happen again next year if he doesn't retire. By the way, Aaron Rodgers is going to wear the number 8 jersey for the Steelers.
I wonder if Aaron Rodgers starts out with the 1s or with the 2s. Because Pittsburgh's
had high. He's going to start with the 1s.
Well, Pittsburgh's already had a decent offseason with Mason Rudolph. You'd have to think Aaron Rodgers starts with the 2s.
He walks in the room, he's with the 1s.
He'd work his way to the 1s.
I will bet you money he starts with the 1s.
Just a question. Just a thought.
If nothing else, to appease the ego. Because if he walks in and you send him over the 2s, how do you think he's going to act?
I don't know if he'll act too bad about that.
Oh, he'll make you regret living.
Oh, yeah.
That is Aaron Rodgers right there.
I don't know.
By the way, Steelers, Aaron Rodgers was not their first option. Turns out that they wanted Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
they couldn't get a trade done there. Then they tried for Justin Fields. So those were the 2 quarterbacks they wanted, according to Adam Schefter, before they settled on Aaron Rodgers. And then Aaron Rodgers made them pay for it by making them wait forever.
My thought is okay, they wanted Justin Fields, but they let him become a free agent. And they didn't end up re-signing him. So
yeah, that's my thought too. I mean, why would you, if you wanted Justin Fields?
Justin Fields opted to go to the New York Jets. But that was where he went. He wanted to go.
Pittsburgh had an option to re-sign and negotiate his contract, and they ended up letting him hit the free agency market.
Yep.
And then
I guess
they tried to go back and re-sign him, but he ended up going to the Jets. I think he has a lot better receiver talent at the Jets and the Steelers.
Do you expect a team that thinks Mason Rudolph is a good idea, or a team that goes, ooh, we're going to get Aaron Rodgers? You expect a team that thinks that way to think clearly about what to do about Justin Fields? Justin Fields was that thing where you're like, maybe we should do this. Should we do this? Maybe we should do this. And it's too late before they decide they want to do it.
Justin Fields was also 5-1 as their starter. And you could judge him if you want by the Bears. But when you have 2 different offensive coordinators in 2 years with that offensive line that he had and the depleted receiving core that he had, Darnell Mooney was his number 1 option. Mm-hmm. That O-line gave him nothing. I mean, the running game was okay because of him. And so Justin Fields is not a done deal, as a bust at all.
No,
and so in Pittsburgh, you have him and he goes 4-1 or 5-1, one or the other as your starter. And then you don't try to re-sign him when you don't have clear options at the quarterback position. It just makes me kind of, is all. I just question what's going on there?
If Jeffrey. It looks like, wait, we're not used to these guys being dumb. We're not used to these guys being idiots. Then the grander scheme would be to say, how do we tank with the least tank visible way? How do we put something there to where we go, well, we tried, but we're actually tanking? Mason Rudolph, when they were like, well, Mason Rudolph's a fine way to go. You are tanking. Hey, let's bring in Aaron Rodgers. Tanking.
I don't know if
Justin
Aaron Rodgers
Fields,
is tanking.
maybe the hemming and hawing of Justin Fields was, we might mess around and win some games. We don't want to do that. We're trying to get Arch Manning.
They must have seen, because the thing about Justin Fields is he wasn't Pittsburgh's original first option. Remember, it was Russell Wilson. So he was the 2 from the jump. And with all that money they paid Russ to, I'm not sure if it was ever in the cards for him to be the full-time starter. So I guess that's why it was a political decision to let him go. Maybe they saw something like, oh, he's not able to go through his progressions in the pocket. We see something on film we don't like. Sometimes teams do that, but it was just a little bit puzzling to me is all.
When it's puzzling,
it could be, Jeffrey.
Look for the motivation.
It could be. It could be.
So, as was mentioned earlier today, the ownership transition from Jim Irsay to his daughters, that happened. And according to his wishes, now Carly Gordon is now owner and CEO, and Carly Irsay Gordon, and Casey Foyt Foyt. Is there a relation there? You know what I'm saying? To AJ Foyt?
I don't know. Maybe I'd have to look it up.
But Casey Foyt will be owner and executive vice president. And then the youngest girl, Kaylin Jackson, will be the owner and chief brand officer. But, and then, of course, she's going to run the charity stuff, too. So they're serious about things and they know the inner workings. So it's not like, I know what you're thinking when you see this. You're thinking, there's a TV show here. There is, the 3 girls owning and running the team, and Carly Irsay Gordon is like serious, blah, blah, blah. There could be a comedy here, kind of like with Kate Hudson and that loosely based on Jeannie Buss's life with the Lakers, but it's some fictitious team.
Yeah,
it smells like that a bit, but I will say when I have seen these girls in interviews and when I've seen how long they've been attached to the ownership, attached to the organization, and working in the franchise, all of them have worked in various capacities for a long time, so they've all learned the inner workings of pretty much everything. I'm not worried about this team. I am not worried about how this team is going to get ran. I think that everybody who needs to be doing what they're doing is going to do it. And I have confidence that the Colts organization is in good hands.
All right. Yeah.
Casey Foyt is married to AJ Foyt IV, the grandson of the great AJ Foyt. Yeah, the 4-time Indianapolis 500 winner.
I knew it. By the way, and here's a dumb headline. Can I tell you a dumb? I don't know where this headline came from. It might have come from Florio at Pro Football. This is a dumb ass headline. New Colts owners will have decisions to make about Anthony Richardson. Now the GM will have decisions to make. The owner doesn't need to worry about that right now. The owner needs to worry about the other stuff that the team needs to do. Yeah, especially right now. Trust your GM to do his GM bit. If you don't like what he does, you replace him with somebody later on.
Yeah.
But this is not the moment to get micromanaging with the team. And I think the girls are smart enough not to do that. So whoever's thinking that it's their decision what to do about Anthony Richardson, it's just not.
It's not. That's why GMs are made.
So, yeah, but the question is, well, he's hurt again. It's not even the season and he's hurt.
Yep.
Here's the thing. You hear it's like, whoa, we got decisions to make. What decision? He's on a rookie contract until he's not. And guess what? The day he's not, you cut him. You're not stuck with him, and nobody's going to come try to trade you. You don't have a decision to make there because nobody's going to want him. Who out there is desperate enough after watching Anthony Richardson to say, yeah, we want him on our team?
I think there are teams
Nobody.
that want. That ceiling is nuts. Also,
what are you going to get for him?
He threw last year. He was in the top 15 amongst quarterbacks in percentage of throws on target. And those are people by Sports Spectrum is the website that does that. They watch
when
film.
He would throw, but most of the time he was trying to run. Most of the time he was injuring himself. And most of the time, guess where he wasn't? The field.
I feel like that's what's being addressed on film and told to him day by day. It's fixable. It does suck, and it is annoying to watch. Like, that is annoying to watch. I think something like that is fixable.
I
Just
don't
teach him to
think
slide.
I don't think he's got the ability
Some guys
to
just
make
don't.
that change mentally.
Yeah, like RG3 never
Good
learned.
comparison.
Yeah, RG3 never learned. So there are some guys that just don't have that just refuse. That's why Jackson Dart, I think, fell so low in the draft. He never learned how to slide. He took hits. If he slid with those numbers he had, I guarantee he'd be drafted higher. But yeah.
Jersey Murph says Russ was signed at the vet minimum. Denver paid his salary. Okay. But it's still, I think that's still where he's at. I think he's still at the bottom. Moist one says Trey Lance is still wanted. Anthony Richardson has shown way more than he did.
Anthony Richardson has shown way more than Trey Lance. That's true. But Trey Lance, the pick, I just didn't really
You
get
want
it
him on the Titans?
from the start. Dude,
Do you want him on the Titans?
I think Trey Lance wouldn't be bad.
Do you want him on the
Sure.
Titans?
Sure. If you
Randy,
want
you want him on the Cardinals?
No.
if you want a backup quarterback, you're going for upside. Trey Lance has that.
No, I wasn't talking about Trey Lance. I'm talking about Anthony Richardson.
Oh, Anthony Richardson. Oh, I'd like him on the Titans. I think it's worth
You
a
wouldn't
shot.
get to see him much. He gets injured all the time.
Yeah, I mean, we have Cam Ward now, but last year I would have liked Anthony Richardson.
He got a fruit basket and a note on it from Anthony Davis that said, "Damn."
Anthony Day to Davis is what my friends call him.
Mhm.
Anthony
We got
Day to
Anthony
Davis.
Day-to-Day Richardson.
He said what?
Damn. How would you like to make so much money that 750 grand don't matter to you?
I would love that. Thank you.
I think it still mattered to me a little bit. So Lamar Jackson, he's like, I don't feel like working out. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go in. Okay. That'll be $750,000, please, because that's what your workout bonus is.
Oh my gosh.
$750,000. So now instead of 43.5 million, he makes 42.75 million. I think, hey, Lamar, you might miss that in 30 years. What would it hurt you to work out?
That's why he didn't come in, or like he didn't feel like it. Is there
Didn't feel like it. Didn't want to.
Is there an injury thing? There's nothing.
I didn't hear anything about an
understand.
injury thing, but to get that
my
money
gosh.
for the bonus, he'd have to work out 80% of the workouts, which he has not even done a little.
Wow.
But he wouldn't discuss why. And I imagine he probably won't discuss why this time either.
Wow.
Gave up so far $1.5 million because he did it last year too.
That was in
So
that
he
situation.
is calculated in where he's like, it's not worth it.
My dad would chew me out. Chew me out.
Even
if I
with
was in that
42.75 million sitting there, yes, your dad would and should chew you out for that 700
Wow.
feet. He'd be like, you could just work out and give me the money.
I just wonder if there's other context. I don't know.
What other context is there is?
I don't know, man.
He's
It's just
definitely
weird.
not in bad shape.
No.
He wasn't in bad shape last year. Maybe he just like, that was a bonus. They put up a $750,000 bonus. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine. But dear Lord, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I couldn't. I mean, I'd be sitting there maybe with like just the bar with no weights on it going, I'm working out. Look at me.
You give me a $750,000 bonus, Jeffrey. Say go work out. Oh, I'm in there.
When is
4
the
a.m.
80%? I got to get to 80.5%. Am I there yet?
Yeah.
Am I just somebody figure
Man,
this out?
We'll put some more plates on.
I'm going to go
put some more plates
0.5 I'm going to go 0.5% more.
Yep.
Just in case you people try to screw me out of this. So I'll be there for 81% of the workouts.
Not 100. You just go 81% for the 750 bonus.
If all I have to do is show up for 80% of the workouts, I'm going to show up for 81% of the workouts just in case somebody did the math wrong.
Wow.
Lost Toby says, I have a Trey Lance jersey. Thanks, Nick LaCapria. I said, it's a long story, Harris.
All right.
Oh, good God. Did you finally get it today, Lost Toby?
Wow.
Trust me, Harris. Super fans of the Fourth Dimension, they understand this.
Got it.
I think there's people still waiting. All right, let's take a break. We come back. We got on this date in Big George's sports history. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Listen to our live stream on your phone at 1580thefanatic.com.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454 or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
It's summertime for the NFL. Mini camps, training camps, holdouts, no show. You want to stay up with the NFL this summer? Stay locked on your radio home for primetime NFL games, playoffs, and Super Bowl 60. 1580, The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So, I feel like this is a threat.
A threat?
Here's the headline. Adam Sandler will cast Derrick Henry in a movie if he rushes for 2,000 yards.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I feel like Derrick Henry's being threatened. I think this is a ploy to make sure he doesn't run 2,000 yards. I'd go to 1,990 yards and 2 feet.
Yeah.
If I were Derrick Henry.
I mean, I could see that if you're Derrick Henry,
why punish him?
You know, why be in a Sandler movie?
I would be.
Why?
I'd be rushing for 2,000 yards. I mean,
Have you watched any of his recent movies?
He didn't specify like the part he would get. Would he just be in one scene, or would he be like a Kevin Garnett role?
I guess that depends on Derrick Henry. I mean, if you say, "Yeah, I'll put you in a movie," and then you sit down and you realize, he can't act, then he just walks in holding a plate or something, or just like, "Hey,
like
it's Derrick Henry,"
like a cameo.
Or if he can act, then get him involved. But I mean, if that was that's not incentive these days. Little Hoobie Halloween, no, thank you. No, I'm gonna be in Hoobie Halloween Part 2. No, thank you. Nope.
I'd rush for 2,000 yards to be in an Adam Sandler movie.
What is the last
Wow.
good Adam Sandler movie, Harris, since you're a big fan?
Oh my gosh.
The
Well-
last one, the most recent one.
Well, I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan,
What
but
the
I
hell are
like
you
him.
talking
Grown
about?
Ups.
You run
Grown Ups.
2,000 yards to get a good contract, not to be in one
Pretty-
of this dumbass movies.
It's pretty cool. Grown Ups, probably 2. Is that the last one? Really?
Grown Ups 2? No.
Moist
no.
one says Chuck and Larry.
I
Of
think it
course,
was,
Moist one.
wasn't it
Uh,
Uncut Gems?
Oh yeah,
That-
that was a good one. Yeah, I was
Remember-
thinking comedies.
When he did Uncut Gems, he said, if they don't nominate me for an Oscar, I'm going to make Hubie Halloween. And that's what he did. He says, I'm going to make the worst movie ever. And that's why I'm not even kidding. You can look it up. That's why he made Hubie Halloween, to
Wow.
punish America.
Thank you,
Moist
America.
one, it's not called Uncut Gents. It's Uncut
Wow.
Gems.
Moist one having a problem hearing today.
Mhm.
Moist one, yeah, Moist one needs some hearing aids, perhaps.
I don't know, man. I mean, make something new, maybe, Adam Sandler. If Adam Sandler had like a new, because he has a
He makes
couple
a
of
lot
new
of
movies.
sequels.
There's one where he plays this astronaut, and it's some weird sort of movie, and I don't think anybody saw it. And then there's when he tries to do the serious movies, and then there's the Great Zohan, where he plays a hairdresser. It's like he is hit and miss, but it's been more miss than hit, and that's why he started remaking all the old stuff, trying to recapture some of that money. It's all about the money. He's not trying to do anything artistic. He just wants the money. And and then here comes Adam saying, "Hey, you run 2,000 yards, you can be in my movie." Do I have
Wow.
to? Because
What if Derrick Henry?
I'm getting a contract year coming up.
What if
Yeah.
Derrick Henry gets to like 1999 and then just slides down?
Just slides. Like playoffs are on the line. He's like, "You don't understand.
You don't get
Take
it."
the ball."
Yeah, somebody
Do
else
it,
has to
Lamar.
run it.
Have
I
it,
can't-
Lamar.
I can't run it anymore.
I don't want to be in Waterboy 2. I don't want to be in that one.
Waterboy 2 with Derrick Henry instead of himself. That would
No.
be crazy.
It's not even things that would make sense for Dan Sandler.
Could you imagine
Adam Sandler?
the bedwetting scene, the sheets wet scene, except instead of Adam Sandler, it's Derrick Henry?
No.
I guess I'm just thinking out loud. I
Thank
thought that
God
would be
Derrick
funny.
Henry can't act.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that we know of.
Yeah, that we know of.
I'm sure he was acting like it was a good idea, being polite to Adam Sandler.
Oh, but
Yeah. Oh, you're going to put me in one of your movies. It's great. That's great.
Yeah.
This is something that I've been hearing, and I don't know if they've gotten anywhere with this, but some NFL owners are like, you know what we need? We need a quarterback salary cap because there's too much money going out to the quarterbacks.
Wow.
And so what we would like to see is a salary cap for everybody, and then within that salary cap, a salary cap for a quarterback, so they can't keep gunging us up into the stratosphere with some of these contracts.
Wow.
How do you feel about a quarterback salary cap that is separate than the other players? So
I love it.
you could end up with like a offensive lineman or a wide receiver or defensive guy getting paid more than a quarterback because there's no cap on the singular players. There's only a
Just
cap
on the
on
quarterback?
the team.
I don't think it's
And
fair to
then the
quarterbacks.
quarterback.
It's not fair to quarterbacks because QB is in the NFL is the hardest position by far to play. There are only 32 of them. It's extremely high demand and extremely high pressure.
Well, the NBA wants to adapt the max and super max restrictions.
Adapt? What do you mean?
They
adapt?
want to try to do the same thing the NBA does.
Oh, they want to do
You know
the
how
same
the
thing
NBA has max and super
Right.
max
Uh-huh.
restrictions on
Yeah.
free agent and long term contracts.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's too fair. I don't think it's too fair to quarterbacks now because it's a tough position to play. It requires a lot more work, a lot more preparation, a lot more pressure, a lot more blame to get, a lot more scrutiny. And also, do the math here. There's 5 starting offensive linemen. There's 3 starting receivers. You have 1 to 2 starting running backs per team. And quarterbacks, when you start playing football, that's probably the most desired position to play. Everyone wants to play quarterback, and there's only 32 of you, as opposed to 96 of you at receiver, or 100 and doing the math here. What's 96 plus 128? 128 DBs, or however much it may be. being a quarterback's hard. So I think the market is they make a lot because they deserve a lot.
Also, sometimes it's hard to be a woman.
It is.
Giving all
Sometimes
your love to just one man.
Yes. But if you love him,
I don't remember the rest of the
really
words.
love him.
Okay.
I was wondering what you were talking about. Oh.
Yeah, I don't feel like making it easier on the owners. I don't
Making
feel
it
like
easier-
because
Yeah.
sort it out with the quarterback.
It
Because
was
you already have a quarterback salary cap. It's baked into the salary cap. And you have to be reasonable with quarterbacks because your quarterback comes in and says, nope, I won't be here for less than $65 million a year. And be like, well, good luck finding a team that can afford $65 million a year.
if there's any position, 65 million a year is more than like some MLB teams' payrolls at the bottom. That's pretty crazy. But if there's anyone that deserves, adjusting in the market, it's running backs because they're in an interesting position because they're probably most of them, the overwhelming majority of them are done by the time they're like 27. That's like a quarterback's peak. So running backs have this rookie deal and then they get done. And then all of a sudden, no one wants to sign them to a long-term deal because by the time they're done with the rookie deal, they're like 25, 26 years old, 24, 25 years old. So no one wants to take the chance on them. I think something needs to be done there as opposed to quarterbacks.
Yeah. I mean, two things happen at that age. You're out of your rookie contract and Leo DiCaprio will not date you.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
That's true.
Number one Rattlers fan says, this is America. You should be able to make as much as your contract can state. How would you like it if Radio Ron capped how much he paid Blender hosts? What makes you think he hasn't? Well, on that depressing note, it's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history.
Back in the year 1999, after being ejected in the 12th inning by plate umpire Randy Marsh for arguing a catcher's interference call on Mike Piazza, Bobby Valentine returned to the dugout with a pair of sunglasses, a Mets t-shirt, and a mustache made of black tape. Valentine didn't exactly help him out when he denied allegations, saying it was somebody else that didn't even look like me.
Yeah. That's true.
He was
That's true.
100% him.
Yeah, it was 100%. If you've ever seen the video, it's
So
totally
funny.
totally Bobby Valentine. Absolutely.
That's like what Randy and I would do. We
Why would he
definitely
do
do that.
Oh yeah.
Why
Come
do you do
back with a fake mustache. I'd have like a piece of paper with a fake
Yeah.
cutout beard.
Dark glasses.
But they got him. They didn't find it funny as we did. And the National League gave Valentine a 2-game suspension and a $5,000 fine.
You know who should have paid that? It should have been the TV guys. The TV guys need to quit showing him on camera.
Yeah, they did. They outed him, didn't they?
Yeah, they threw him right under the bus, man.
How could you not, though? That was funny. You gotta
Yeah.
admit.
If I'm a camera guy, I'm looking at that and I'm just doing my job, man.
Maybe the camera guy should get that fine
Next.
against for showing him.
Yeah.
It would have been nice of the network to step up and pay that. But they were like, hey, this is just good television.
Yeah.
We didn't tell them to dress up like that and come out. So
Yeah.
So can somebody explain something to me? I know we don't have a lot of time left. Why do people keep vandalizing Kobe and Gianna Bryant's mural? Now, listen, Kobe Bryant, say what you will about him. We know he was not always a great guy. Sometimes in Colorado, he was a pain in the ass. But his daughter didn't do anything wrong. And this is a mural that is in downtown LA, just sort of like, hey, people cared about Kobe and Gianna Bryant. That's nice. And then the people keep coming down there and defacing it. Why would you do that?
Because some people are just idiots. They just can't. They can't help themselves. They're idiots, and they don't pay attention. They don't have any respect for anybody else's work or anybody else's things, and they just go out there and they just think they can do whatever they want, and that's why it keeps getting defaced.
Well, it turns out Slow Motion is the artist. His name is Slow Motions. And he says it because there's a feud between rival street artists. So another street artist did this. I am worried that this might be collusion. Let me explain why. Luka Doncic, who got traded to the Lakers in February, he helped pay for the restoration. The first time it was vandalized, he gave $5,000 to Slow Motions, a little fundraiser there. So they were raising money to fix it. Well, now they fixed it, and now it's been defaced again. Is this like a money grab by Slow Motions? Like,
I don't know if it is or not.
Well, you see what I'm saying?
Was it
I'm thinking like Harris was thinking earlier in the show about FanDuel. What if Slow Motions vandalized his own mural to make more money, so then he has to go out there and fix it again, which is easy for him. Like, how hard is that for him? It's easy.
By the way, that was a spot on.
Thank you.
Spray can. Yeah,
I'm a walking Foley artist.
You are. You really are. Yes.
You know that's what they call that, Harris.
Foley.
In the movies, when you hear people walking and you hear people doing stuff, it's somebody sitting there making the noises like, and that's called a Foley
See,
artist.
that was perfect. That was steps. I know that
you thought
anywhere.
I was walking in gravel, didn't you?
Yes, people walking in gravel right there. That
It's
was
probably a little unsettling and spooky.
Fan-damn-tastic.
I was quite
Wow.
unsettled and spooked. So.
See,
that's a crow. See, that was a crow.
No, that was just me, Randy. It's just me.
Oh, wow. I thought I had a crow in here with me.
I know.
I was looking over where it was. I couldn't track it.
Yeah.
I'll try to take it easy. But anyway, so yeah, that's what a Foley art. Why am I talking about this?
I don't know.
I don't even remember what I was saying. I'm hungry. It's time for dinner. Everybody have a great night. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Bye-bye.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk.